Hello, everyone. Welcome to DCU Daily. Here we are. Oh my god, such a big day today. Sorry for the lateness, but welcome to your doomsday. Yes, I did quote a DC film in that, but I don't care. It's fine. You know what we're talking about here. We're gonna dive in to motherfucking Avengers Doomsday. We're gonna be talking about it. We're gonna be breaking down trailers. We're gonna be doing red circles, red arrows, all that shit, breaking it down bit by bit, trying to, do all the things that the Russo brothers expect us to do at this point. But we're gonna do it because that's what we always do. But with that, that's not the only thing. Obviously, we're going to start off with some actually peak cinema. Good old Nolan, Odyssey talk. A lot of great stuff for the Odyssey, so we're going to be talking about all that. And then before we get into Doomsday, MCU Weekly, we got some other stuff to talk about. We got Daredevil Born Again. We got Ryan Reynolds talking about apparently a fourth Deadpool movie, even though he recently said no to a fourth Deadpool movie, but, whatever. Then X-Men and Kevin Feige talking about stuff. We got some Spider-Man Brand New Day stuff, because remember, that movie still exists, even though, Doom has dropped. And then, of course, Doomsday trailer talk, not just that, but, just kind of diving into the trailer, but the lead up to that, there was stuff with, like, Fantastic Four and all those things, so we're talking about that as well, and what it means for this lovely little film. But then gonna go into, apparently, the other shoe has dropped for the Paramount Warner Brothers merger. Hope? Probably not, but a little bit. Then, of course, we have your picks for Mount Rushmore Monday. It is Monday, so we gotta talk about our boys on that rock. Mount Rushmore, baby. Then, quick hits. Boom. Got some trailer talk, got some this, got some that. Dan's going crazy on the soundboard today, guys. So, with that, we got DC quick hits at the start of DCU Daily, like usual. Then, got a little bit of Lanterns talk, and then a little bit of Supergirl talk. Hopefully, Enterprising isn't here, because it is negative Supergirl talk, so hopefully they don't cry about it. But, that's okay. Let's dive in, let's get this party started, and let's be Knuff.
No way. No matter what I do, I'm always the number two.
All right, mister, I need to paint my abs on to get nominated. You don't see Robert Downey doing that.
You're kidding.
You're
kidding. I can't open the envelope without the...
Warner Brothers is heading back into the Matrix with a new movie in the works.
Wonder what other surprises are in store.
I want to be Bruce Wayne.
I like that. And you're gonna love me.
There's the shot, right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see chords.
Right there.
You look ridiculous.
Well, not no more, he don't.
What, dude? I can barely understand you. Your accent's insane.
What the world needs now.
Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much. Oh, wow. Wow.
Hello, welcome on in to another episode of DCU Daily. Oh,
Going
no, so
crazy, Dan.
curious.
Going crazy. You're really loving that soundboard today.
I was running some tests. I didn't, just running some tests. Yeah, lots to get into. We'll see how long my voice lasts, but
yeah, we gotta, oh my god, so much fucking stuff, guys. But that's okay. We're here to carry you through it, and we're here to talk about your boy Nolan. But before we get into that, we got a fucking chat filled with stuff. We got Caleb as your boy, David Dunn. Lovely, classic, beautiful. Figure drawing already going at it with Caleb in the comments about how fucking Doomsday looks like the greatest thing ever. Then we got Monique just chilling right there, pot roast and veggies. That nice, simple. I like that. Well, simple in regards to usually the stuff you do. Pot roast is probably difficult for everybody else, but for you, Monique, I'm sure that's a cakewalk, or a pot roast walk, I should say. And then, you know, oh my God, you guys are really duking it out in the comments. Holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
Movie
The
Spud. Hi,
podcast was
Movie
so
Spud.
good, I haven't
They saw the
watched.
Odyssey yesterday. Freaking amazing.
That's
Loved
awesome.
it. 9.5 out of 10. That's what I gave it. Best movie of the year so far. Not actually, it's not in my top 5, but it was very close. Bone Temple just beat it out by a little bit. Keyblade Master. Hello. I don't know if your name kind of sounds familiar. I don't know if you've been in the chat before. If you haven't,
That's
hello,
Nelson.
welcome. If you
Nelson
have,
changed
then
his name. That's
okay.
Nelson. Hey, Nelson.
Okay.
Are you
Hey
logged into
guys,
a
right,
different
dude,
account
lovely.
today? Yeah.
Avengers Doomsday is the Sidney Lumet of superhero cinema. Yes, of course.
Mm.
Of course. All right, guys, you need to fucking calm down. Holy shit. You guys really need to calm down because we're talking Odyssey first, okay? We're gonna talk Odyssey. Let's get into you, boy. Let's talk about Homer and Marge and Matt Damon. But apparently Odyssey has seized the day and gotten $124 million at the box office.
It was actually, John, it was actually 124.5
Oh,
million
excuse me.
dollars.
Sorry, can't forget about
Mind
that
you,
fucking
I'm just,
extra $500,000.
I mean, wouldn't you want to have an extra 500? Are you trying to skim 500 grand off the top? It's, I guess.
Matt Damon. Hell yeah.
2 more times next weekend. One of my friends was saw it today in normal IMAX, not 70mm, but yeah, and then Nelson.
But guys, isn't this supposed to be terrible? Isn't this supposed to be woke?
Why do you feel the need to? I think those people have been shut down at this point because
they're still bitching about it because there's a moment in the Odyssey where like Lupita Nyong'o has like pause face, and they're like, "See, she's ugly," and it's like, you have nothing. Just stop. It's
everybody
okay.
has pause face. Every time our video freezes, we have pause face. Anyway,
yeah.
I mean, the movie,
it's just so funny because it's like, guys, you know what it feels like? It feels like, those headlines that come up every once in a while where it's like Japanese man fought for 42 years after World War II ended. And it's like, that's what it feels like right now. It's like, guys, you lost. It's okay.
It's fine. It's all right.
You still won with Supergirl. So like, there's that, but like you lost with Odyssey. I'm sorry.
There was a really funny comment about Supergirl. I'm going to go through it later that I had to respond to. It was some of you guys, not necessarily watching the show right now, but we get some good comments, some good trolls. It's fun to troll them back. Anyway, so the Odyssey made 124.5 million domestic. That was with just about 4,000 screens, which is about standard for a wide release. Now the 124.5 makes it the 3rd biggest opening weekend domestically of the year. It's the biggest opening weekend for any live action movie. I believe Project Hail Mary had the previous high. So Toy Story still has the biggest domestic opening weekend with 159 million. Super Mario Galaxy opened to 131 million. So still impressive, still very impressive. John, it got an A cinema score, which is again, very good. The Rotten Tomatoes score is still in the 90s. It's staying up there as Nolan's highest of his career. Now, the big thing here that is, I think, worth noting, the 124.5 million is impressive, and that's definitely one of the biggest domestic openings for Nolan's career. What's even more impressive is worldwide, Odyssey made $264.1 million. Now, the 264.1 million does make it Nolan's highest opening weekend worldwide of all time. It beats out The Dark Knight Rises, which was the previous high of 249. It even beats out, I believe, The Dark Knight, which opened to like 198, 180. It was a little under 200. Now, I will say the caveat is obviously The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises, those aren't adjusted for inflation. That's like that has its own sets of weirdness with it usually when you try to do that. It's also, you're in a different market today because, the international markets are much more matured, quote unquote. So there's more money to be made internationally than there used to be for Hollywood movies. But that being said, altogether, this is, huge. I mean, John, 264.1 million. The movie was made for 250 million. Obviously, they spent a lot of money on marketing, but with this kind of a start, you got to imagine it's going to be well on its way to not only making its money back, but being thoroughly profitable. Not to mention, Christopher Nolan pretty much every time, delivers his movies under budget. So they might have even saved a few million on the budget itself of 250. So and again, the other number I want to point out, the fact that it did 264 million, and of that, the domestic number is 124 124.5. That means it made 139.6 million internationally. So it actually pulled in more money internationally. It's not a 50-50 split. It's like a 55-45. But John, that means people everywhere are going to see this movie. This is, the zeitgeist movie of the moment. It is the cultural moment, water cooler. Everybody around the world wants to go see it. And for them to be able to do this for a movie that's based on a book that's thousands of years old, that's older than Romeo and Juliet, older than every other book that you probably saw adapted to a movie for the last 10 years, 20 years, however many years, it's kind of impressive. I think it's kind of impressive. I haven't made it score my Rotten Tomato wallpaper, but I'm sure you, Caleb, have made the Glass Rotten Tomato score your wallpaper. Movie Spud saying, every time I see the Digger trailer, I smile and laugh. Possibly, finally, Tom Cruise gets the Academy Award. Yeah, strange love vibes. We'll actually be talking about Tom Cruise and his love of the Odyssey later on. But yeah, John, I mean, what do you think of the numbers here? The biggest opening worldwide for Nolan, 264. The previous record was 249 with Dark Knight Rises.
Pretty damn cool.
Mm-hmm. Pretty damn cool. I mean, think about it this way. Universal going into the weekend was predicting 80 to 100 million. So for them, this is 20 plus million more. So again, going over above and beyond. I think the last predictions that we had were like 110, 120. So even then it kind of beat out everything that they were expecting for us. And that's always a good sign, because even more people walked up the day of to buy tickets than what they were anticipating. That's always good for any movie, especially the Odyssey. So, I mean, I was in, we've all talked about movie theaters. We're like, there were seats, like a few seats open, and then all of a sudden the theater is completely packed. Like when you buy your tickets.
Because I was going through all the days for IMAX, and I'm like, oh, hey, look. Oh, wait, no, it's gone. It's like that South Park episode, and it's gone.
Yep. It's like thing of like, where they're like, we're going to hold your seat for you for 5 minutes. And you're like, oh, no. And then, because somebody else will get that seat after. So, and it does look like.
For me, it's number 6.
I mean, for me, as far as 2026 movies, The Odyssey is probably number 2, right behind Project Hail Mary. I just feel like Project Hail Mary was such a good time.
For me, Project Hail Mary is still my number 1. In terms of other films, I'm trying to think. For number 5, I have 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. For number 4, I have Undertone. I just love that film so much. Yeah, The Odyssey's probably better, but Undertone scared the piss out of me, and I really appreciated that movie. Number 3 is Obsession. Number 2 is Disclosure Day, and then number 1 is Project Hail Mary. So
yeah, I mean, and by the way, Samantha Morton and John Leguizamo, probably the best performances. I mean, certainly for John Leguizamo of his career in this movie, a very underrated part of the movie in such a big film. But yeah, we'll talk more about the performances later. Tom Holland had something fun to say about Robert Pattinson's performance in the movie, which I think will be fun to listen to. But yeah, John, the other milestone, the Odyssey on its opening day alone on Friday had grossed 51.2 million, which is the biggest opening day for a live action film this year, one of the biggest ever for an R-rated movie. And of course, that all led to a record-breaking weekend for Christopher Nolan, and certainly the biggest opening of the year so far, for Universal. Even though they've got Minions out there, Minions didn't open this high. It kind of really trailed off. So for Universal, this is a really good recovery as well. So yeah, this is good. This is great. I think Christopher Nolan's well on his way to another blockbuster. Do you feel like, John, that with this big of an opening, making 264 million in its opening weekend, that Christopher Nolan could have finally another $1 billion movie on his hands after the last one being The Dark Knight Rises? That was 14 years ago?
That's a good question. I mean, it's entirely possible. However, there's a certain spider that might inhibit that a little bit.
Well, I mean, but you remember, you can only see the Odyssey in IMAX for 3 weeks, so there's that too. I mean, I can't look. Here's the thing: the IMAX factor is so big for this movie. Like, I think the last time around was like 30-40% of its opening weekend numbers for Oppenheimer came from IMAX, something like that. I wouldn't be surprised to see
I would say, Brian, Robert Pattinson's having a way better year because he had the drama, he has this, he has prime time. And he has Dune Part 3.
Dune Part 3.
So,
but dude, what about Zendaya? Zendaya's got, you know, the drama. She's got the Odyssey.
She's got Spider-Man Brand New Day.
And Dune Part 3. What about Florence Pugh? I forgot. She had like, I think at least one.
She has
movie
Doomsday and Dune on the same fucking day.
Dune, yeah. It's you guys. There's some big years for a lot of big time actors. You know, it's like Matt Damon's
I'll try to see, like if
5
if
others.
any of the IMAX screenings open up, maybe I'll see it. But like, I don't know.
I'm determined to get you and Liz and myself to go to the 70mm in New York. We're gonna do that.
I mean, we can try, but
yeah, Pew.
It'll probably be like
better
one
than
person's
Zendaya?
in the
Depends
front,
on
one
your
person's like
taste.
back left,
You
and the
know,
other
hey.
person's in the middle somewhere.
You haven't ever traveled in the plane in economy and you guys get like split seats where you're like one person is like 2 aisles down. It's like, all right, we'll see you in 7 hours, kind of a thing. So, anyway, all right. Well, this is great for the Odyssey, John. Let's keep going. We have a few more moments of just cultural. Movie.
Sorry, I meant to get rid of something else. Sorry.
Yeah.
Remember.
Dude, this was a very low key caught me out of nowhere moment in the movie because I don't remember reading about this in the Odyssey in high school. It's been so long I probably forgot the details anyway. But like when you know, it's the dog that causes his son to recognize that, oh my god, you are my father. It's like it's just there was like a more happier version of the your father moment from, well, what is it? It's like, no, I am your father, except, you know, much more subtle here. George Lucas, stop ripping off old text, but save the cat and take it to the extreme. I have the Save the Cat, but do you have the Save the Cat book? Did you buy it or did you rent it for college?
No, I actually never read it in college.
You didn't? Okay.
No, surprisingly.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I didn't go to film school. I went to a school with a film program, and it, sucked. Like, keep in mind, you want to know how bad my film program is? We didn't watch Citizen Kane, but we did watch Birth of a Nation. So, like,
you've said that before.
Yeah. So,
like, you guys, thank you for the super chat. But dude, honestly, you know what? I who said it in the chat just now? Like, Nelson, I agree with you. His dog dying and just this quiet, like, and the fact that the dog is, because the dog's gonna recognize his owner, his dad, and I was like, fuck me, Nolan, like, why? And now we gotta watch the whole third act of the movie. At that moment, I was like, Matt Damon is Batman, and he's about to fucking slay, and I don't know.
I was getting more Green Arrow vibes from him, especially that long beard. That's reminiscent.
Dude, but for most people,
Ollie.
most people's version of Green Arrow is basically Batman because it's the Arrowverse. So it's all the same thing. Besides, I don't think Homer was telling a lot of jokes.
Like Green Arrow became like, oh, he's just Green Batman. It's like, thanks for that, Mark Guggenheim, you fuck. So.
By the way, Anne Hathaway has got like 6 movies coming out this year, which is great. But yeah, I mean, John, this dog moment in the movie just kind of caught me out of nowhere. I was like, oh man, it's like, fuck. I saw Winston today. He was so happy to see me. And this Fiona's new corgi. He's just a goodest boy. But yeah, all right, let's keep. Did you study Dogma 95? Asked bro. I didn't.
I did.
Maybe John did. But let's go. Let's keep going, John.
That shit.
Speaking of Tom Cruise,
fuck Lars von Trier.
Digger.
Fuck that guy. I'm just gonna say it right now.
Hey,
fuck
Steven.
Lars von Trier. He's a bitch.
By the way, Tom Cruise went to see the Odyssey, right? Guess what he had to say about it? Apparently, he couldn't stop saying.
So fucking sick. I would give all the money in my bank account just to hear Tom Cruise say once, so fucking. I can't imagine him saying that. Just so fucking. Yeah. So what I found these at the store because I was getting unlike anime nerds, I actually buy deodorant, so I was getting that. And I found these, and they're kind of like Whoppers but better. It's like shortbread on the inside.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of got a caramelly, chocolateness to it. It's really good.
Yes, Steven, coming up. We're gonna get into Doomsday.
In fact,
yeah, I mean,
it's funny.
dude.
It's funny you say that because my most popular review on my Letterboxd is one for The Idiots. Oh, terrible movie. And I said, "Wow, a Lars von Trier movie that sucks. Imagine my shock." And I gave it a 0.5 star. Because that was one of the movies I had to watch during fucking film class. So.
Oh, Monique wants to know what deodorant you bought.
I use Dove.
Hey, I use Degree.
I use Degree as well, but I was more in a
It's so
Dove
weird
kind of mood.
that we both happen to have our deodorants at arm's length.
Yeah,
that is such a weird.
I have it right there. I also have I have my
weird.
eardrops. I still need to I would say, guys, if you have clogged up ears, definitely use Debrox. It's good shit.
Or if you want, a good hair gel.
I got my Purell here. What else do I got? I need to watch this, but my Thing expanded documentary. I have my Vapo Rub.
Hey, enterprising. Vapor. Okay.
What else do I got?
Also,
I got my coin bank. I got my Spider-Man action figure. I got my Swiss Army knife.
Great. I have one in the drawer right there. I'm not gonna go.
I
anyway.
got these for free because nobody was going to the movie and they wanted to get rid of them. I got these free Harold and the Purple Crayon crayons, and I'm like, why? He's like, I don't know. He's like, what movie you seeing? And I said the movie. I'm like, you want these? I'm like, okay, sure. I have my tissues right here.
Oh, got it. Yeah, cool. Yeah.
I actually have a lot of different lotions. I have hand lotion. Okay. I have 2 different body creams, and I have extra strength Gold Bond because I get chapped skin really easily. So I use.
We're going okay. All right, we're gonna pull it back a little bit here. We did get the popcorn buckets. Unfortunately,
I need to
currently has them.
Talk to Liz about it. I still need to pay for it.
Liz, we are waiting for a delivery there. Tom Cruise screaming in the theater, "Show me the Odyssey! Show me the Odyssey!" So fucking sick. You know what it is? It sounds like somebody doing an impression of Tom Cruise. If all of a sudden Ben Stiller popped up and it was like, so fucking sick, so fucking sick. It's like that's what I imagine Tom Cruise sounding like when he says that. Like that's probably what it was, and then somebody just picked it up. It's great. Yeah, and you know what? He's not wrong. So fucking sick is exactly what the Odyssey is, in a good way, of course, in a good way. Unless you're talking about the Cersei scene, then that part is more in a literal sense, fucking sick. So, yeah,
yes.
Cool. I love Greek people.
This sounds. What? I'm so confused. I assume that's a reference to something.
It's just funny. Anyway, let's keep going.
Anyway,
John.
let's move on.
We gotta move on.
Christopher Nolan says the Odyssey made him hit the limits of my own stamina, and it'll be at least 3 years until his next one. Considering that it's been 3 years since Oppenheimer, that makes sense. So yeah, here's the thing.
Dude, it's a lot.
Imagine if 3 years later, it's like, damn, he just spits out Within 3 years, Christopher Nolan spit out 2 masterpieces, and yet in 6, Matt Reeves is gonna deliver another mid-tier Batman movie. That's crazy, bro.
Didn't Jerry Maguire come back in theaters, or is gonna come back in theaters for our anniversary run? No, but honestly, John, talking about the Odyssey, I totally get it. It's not like he's shooting this stuff in sound stages in 2 parts of the world. What the hell? We gotta
Dan, you gotta stop automatically clicking on things.
I know. I should stop doing that. Sorry about that, guys. You know what though? If his next movie is gonna be the Iliad, that would be the ultimate sequel. Because it's just right
but
there.
Then he's gonna pull a Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, where he makes the sequel first and then makes the prequel.
I know, because it's technical. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Anyway, but no, it's
at least we can agree to Caleb. It'll probably be better than Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah. Well,
Low
okay.
bar.
I by the way, I totally understand that for Nolan, he's hit the limits of his stamina. They filmed this thing in, I don't know, 6 different locations all over the world. They were in Scotland, they were in the Mediterranean, several locations there.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Well, that's what I was saying. He makes the Odyssey first, and then the Iliad, which came before
the
he makes
Odyssey.
it, like how Star Wars 4, 5, 6 was made before 1, 2, 3, and then
Yeah.
The Hobbit was made after Lord of the Rings, even though that took place before. The Iliad takes place before the Odyssey.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm
not
just...
saying I'm not allowed to see Doomsday. I just choose not to. I'm trying to.
I'm just gonna say this though, John. Like, as far as 3 years till his next film, like at least 3 years, Nolan's probably, gonna change his mind sooner than that because the man loves making movies. I can see him taking a year off or so, but then I'd imagine, like,
Damn,
if
what
an
a character
idea
arc.
comes in
From like trying to jerk off Doomsday and force me to see it, now he's saying I'm not allowed.
but
Bad.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if
anyway.
Nolan wanted to take a couple of years and just ruminate on what he has done and maybe go in a different direction. Because, John, like, the one thing that I've noticed is kind of like what Spielberg did, like after he did a number of big movies early in his career, he became like a director that was very well sought after, had won awards. Spielberg decided, I'm gonna go and make the kind of movies that make my portfolio diverse, that challenge me creatively. And I think Nolan is making movies now that challenge him creatively, also logistically. But the thing is, on the logistics side, it's like it's that thing of you can't keep making every movie bigger than the last because there's no end. Like, so I would love to see Nolan kind of make his next movie feel maybe not exactly like Memento, but maybe go a little like more character study, more internalized the next film. I realize Oppenheimer was more of a character study movie, more as a biopic, but then it was still done on this big scale, huge cast. And then now, of course, you've got this with the Odyssey, which is this sprawling adventure, again focus on one person, but still you have such a huge cast of characters. And in 2 years, I'm sure if he's got a loyalty card for some airline, like he's got miles racked up, he can go enjoy a vacation on some Greek island for the next 2 years and no cost to him whatsoever, and just think on his next idea. But I wouldn't be surprised if Nolan decided to go kind of like, remember, John, like after I would say the Batman Begins was a bigger movie in terms of what it took physical production wise, the locations, than The Prestige. And then obviously The Dark Knight was even bigger. But then after The Dark Knight, he does, Inception, which Inception is big, but it didn't feel as big of an undertaking as The Dark Knight. Then The Dark Knight Rises was really big. And then after that, I believe, what did he do? Was it Dunkirk that came after it, or was it Interstellar? I forget which one comes up. So, I mean, Nolan...
Interstellar came before Dunkirk, I know that.
So, I mean, he's just been like going up and up on the scale. There's very rare that he's decided to, like, I'm going to do something a little more intimate, a little smaller. And that, because it's just... But, it's just his style, but also at the same time, hello, Hunter Iggy. Nolan tends to just he'll tell stories on a big canvas. So I'm not surprised he wants to take a break. And I think people have been speculating, what is his next thing? He's going to do this and that. And I'm happy that he's just like, I'm going to take a break. You know what? James Gunn, pay attention. Take a break from directing for 3 years after Man of Tomorrow. Please take a...
But no, he's got to direct Batman because nobody else will.
But we don't... Dude, that movie's not coming for another 3 years, right? So, like, it's 2026. Like, 2029 ain't going to be here for 3 years at least. So, I think, James is going to take a couple of years break and still pump out a good Batman movie. But, yeah. So, I'm not surprised. I'm glad, because I think he's had a really epic 4 years. And, like, he's going to be getting Oscars next year. So, like, 2024 to 2027. 2023 is when the Odyssey came out. The Oppenheimer came out. 24 is when he won the Oscar for it, or multiple Oscars. And now... 2027, he's probably going to be, adding a few more trophies on his shelf. Like, at that point, take a break. Decide what you want to do next. But hey, if an idea strikes, then he might just decide, hey, you know what? I'm going to pivot over to this next thing that I want to do. Remember, people thought he was going to be doing a zombie movie before we knew it was going to be the Odyssey?
Speaking of pivoting. I mean, there were zombies in the movie. Like, the underworld scene is kind of zombie-esque.
Hades. It's the origin of zombies, if anything, the idea of it. But anyway, let's keep going.
But speaking of moving on, the Odyssey is 15% fighting, 2% dialogue, and 83% men running on beaches, and then IMAX, my dream day. Honestly, I don't know. Well,
This one is for Liz.
In
She's not
terms
here.
of 2% dialogue, that was the amount of dialogue I could fucking hear in the movie since the fucking music was too goddamn loud. Again.
I don't know.
So-
Again, I didn't have as much of an issue, but I hear people keep saying it all the time. I was like, I've never understood the whole mix. Like, I understand sometimes it's harder to understand, like, you know, in some scenes, but like, for example, for me, the cave one was a little difficult at times when they're in the cave with the Cyclops, but most of the
I think
parts
that
of
was
the
on
movie
purpose because it
kinda
was like
heard.
it was like
It's supposed
sound
to
bouncing
echo.
off the walls.
Yeah. But no, but everything else, I mean, I don't know if his I may be the exception to the rule. I've never really had too much of an issue with his, like, I can't hear the dialogue as well, but anyhow. Yeah, let's keep going. Speaking of perfect ratios, John, Nolan was talking about recently on you know, one of these interviews that they do, like the whole press junket. He was talking about how they shoot for the different aspect ratios, because obviously they're shooting in 70mm IMAX film, which is different than 70mm film, which is also different than 35mm film. 35mm film is what most movies are either shot in, or if it's shot in film or equivalent, Super 35, or even if it's full frame, generally it gives you the wider aspect ratio. You got 185 by 1, 239 by 1, then you have a 240 by 1, and then you have the 143. The 239 by 1 is like, you know, the Avengers, like this super wide, and then your 185 is a little less wide. It's more like your normal IMAX, and then 70mm IMAX is like 1431, so it's like really tall. Now the 143 by 1 is really what they're filming in. Now they were asking, you know, this guy asked Nolan, like, how do you film for the different aspect ratios, because you know this movie is going to get mastered in multiple aspect ratios, because if you go to Dolby, I think you get the 2.4 or 239 or 2.4, then I think the normal IMAX is 185, and then because that's what Nolan said, those are the two versions, and then the 70mm IMAX is like the 143. So, and that being what it's natively shot in, like, how do you account for the fact that you're gonna need to crop out a bunch of stuff from the top and the bottom of the image for these other projection formats? In fact, John, there's like less than 24. I think there's like 21 70mm IMAX theaters in the entire world, and more than half of them in the US. But that goes to show you the vast majority of people that are going to see the Odyssey are not going to see it in the native 143 by 1. So you can't just compose your shots for that format, that aspect ratio, because so many people are going to miss a lot of stuff. I think the Odyssey website actually has a really great like tool where they show you like the different like aspect ratios and what gets cut off. But and you know, I'm sure Zack Snyder has espoused that for, you know, when the Snyder Cut was coming out, about all of that stuff. So he's into that IMAX life as well. But and the end scene of the Odyssey was fantastic, by the way. There is one in New York City at Lincoln Square, Nelson. That's the one you want to go to. And there is a behind-the-scenes documentary for the Odyssey currently streaming on Peacock, so go watch it there. It actually came out a week ago. But anyway, John, so what Nolan said about filming for different aspect ratios, working with previously, right now he works with Hoytman Hoytema. Before he used to work with, what was the other guy? Wally Feister, I think he said, who did a lot of his, you know, Dark Knight era movies. As his DP, and now with Hoytema, like, they apparently, the way they film things is they decide, like, look, the focus of the image, what you're going to look at is almost always going to be in the center of the image, vertically and horizontally. And so we position the camera and frame it so that we show the 3D relationship between characters and what you're supposed to focus on and stuff. Basically, they're saying it's not so much framing the shot in 2 dimensions to fit, you know, top to bottom, left to right, so much as it is trying to show the proper detail in the center of the image, which is basically a layman's way of saying, like, hey, you know, we do shoot so that all the important information is in the center of the image, so that when it gets cut off in the top and the bottom, most people don't miss anything. Because I think Nolan knows the vast majority of people are not going to get to see this movie in the native 143 by 1 aspect ratio. Yes, you're going to miss the top end of the tower that falls when they're, you know, destroying Troy. Yes, you're not going to get to see Matt Damon's sandals. I'm sure, you know, Tarantino would be disappointed. So you get to miss a lot of feet because those full profile shots get cut off. And you maybe, you know, get some of the headgear cut off in the closer shots. Maybe, you know, you just see up to the forehead, but that's okay. So I appreciate that Nolan is, again, he kind of like, to me, honestly, this answer kind of felt like a little bit of bullshit, because I'm like, sure, I'm sure you have a process, but really what you're just saying is we frame it so the most important information is in the center of the image, and so then when, you know, you get a cropped version of that, for most people, they're not missing anything important. And it's not even just him. I think most movies nowadays, Sean, even when they film it for, like, for example, even
Quentin
Avengers
Tarantino be
Doomsday.
like,
Where's the feed cut? There's
hashtag
so
release
even
the feed cut.
even for like Avengers Doomsday, they release it in 239
Gross.
or 240 by 1, which is the ultra wide cinema scope kind of version. But even
Do
those
you mean
movies are shot with
Infinity
a
Vision,
taller
Dan?
yeah, whatever. But like even those are still shot with, like, the cameras don't film that wide. The cameras shoot with a lot more detail at the top and the bottom, closer to the aspect ratio of your TV at home. It's just then they crop it in post. So it's like what Nolan is doing is nothing different than any other filmmaker, because most cameras will shoot in a format, an aspect ratio that's not the same as what you did, you know, ultimately master the movie and release it in. So all that said,
Nolan for days,
I agree.
bro.
Nolan, I think, is way better. Actually, fucking Infinity Vision. We'll get to that in a later part of the show. But anyway,
let's just get through this. Like, I love, you know,
I just,
movie, but I wanna talk Doomsday, baby. I wanna make figure drawing, man.
But anyway, hey, you guys, let us know if you saw the Odyssey, what you thought about it. You know, all the other stuff, the box office, the records. Right now, we're gonna talk about MCU Weekly. John, we got some MCU, you know, salad of stories before we get to Spider-Man, and then of course Avengers Doomsday.
A nice tossed salad. Anyway, Daredevil Born Again season 3 has completed principal photography. Wrap party photos shared online. So apparently, you know,
he played
a nice rapper. We got Cox. We got D'Onofrio. We got all this lovely shit right here, bruh.
Wow, he put this through a CapCut. This was great. I'm like, I can watch Elodie Young party all night long if you go to the next thing. This was great. I'm like, you know what? I could put that on repeat for a little while. Not a problem whatsoever there.
Anyway.
Yeah,
we got the Heroes for Hire back in town, baby. Let's go. That's what I'm excited about.
Daredevil Born Again season 3 is officially wrapped on production. They even had a party to celebrate it, as one usually does. Have you seen that episode of The Studio? Just saying. Let's keep going.
But Ryan Reynolds confirms plans for a 4th Deadpool movie, shares comic book influences. Ain't that nice?
Ooh. He was at Fanatics Fest. This is where this is from.
But he was saying if Deadpool becomes an Avenger and X-Men, we're at the end. That's wish fulfillment, and we can't give him that.
So this is
writing
from
a little
before.
something right now. It's an ensemble. There's a few really deep cuts that are missing from the movies. I think there's a few deep cuts missing from some of the comics. There's certainly some stuff that I would love that Fabian Nicieza wrote that is incredible. Gary Duggan is a friend and an incredible comic book writer. There's stuff coming. There eventually will be another Deadpool film. So he was at Fanatics Fest in New York this weekend, and he was asked about it. In the past, he has sort of hinted at, like, you know, he doesn't see Deadpool's story ever ending, you know, unless he becomes an X-Men or an Avenger, because then he's achieved the thing. He's got to always be an outsider. But then before, he never quite committed to another Deadpool, although he is sort of dilly-dallied about, you know, one way or the other. He's like, you know, maybe we will eventually. And basically he said the same thing again, that yes, eventually we're going to get another Deadpool movie. Yes, I might be working on some ideas and writing some things down, and I got some influences and whatnot, but I mean, John, do you think we're getting a Deadpool 4 anytime soon? Is that coming out in the next few years, 2-3 years maybe, post Secret Wars? Maybe. I don't know.
It's
I don't
just,
really care.
I you know, like right now, I think Ryan Reynolds is just, he doesn't have any, you know, deadline to get this out the door. I think Kevin Feige is just like, you figure it out, and, you know, they come to me with a few ideas. Maybe we'll pick one. I hope that if they are going to make another one, make it sooner than later, or recast the character for the reboot after Secret Wars, whatever kind of reboot it is. But Doom might come the closest to killing Deadpool. Doom might kill Deadpool. You never know. You never know. Oh yeah, no, that's all done. The whole Blake Lively stuff is done. As far as
Anyway, nobody cares about
we're
that.
aware.
X-Men, Monica Barbaro, Kaylee Spaney, and Michelle Randolph
I can't
in
wait for
running for
this.
roles. Professor X finalists revealed. According, this is from Jeff Snyder, so
Oh boy.
grain of salt. He revealed that Bill
Rumors.
Skarsgård is currently the front runner for literally the worst choice for that from that short list is Professor X. Like, I'm not saying he would do a bad job.
You
It's
didn't
just
even put it in your list. You put it in your honorable mentions.
I put it in
on
honorable
Friday.
mentions. It was so lame. Like, now here's the thing. But when it comes to a bad casting, what do I always say? If it's tomorrow, they're like, or whenever the fuck Comic-Con is, like, hey, Bill Boy is playing fucking Professor X. What do I always say, Dan? What do I always say? 3 words. Prove me wrong. Every single time. I think that's not a great casting. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
I mean, you know what? For me, it's the Bill Skarsgård thing I'm willing to live with. If he becomes Professor X, if he ends up with the role. Tom Pelfrey, like, sure, don't really care too much.
Drew Starkey are also in contention for the role. I can't imagine that Tom Pelfrey would be cast. He's already in the MCU. What the fuck do you mean? And then Drew Starkey, I don't fucking know who that is. Is it like Ringo Starr's kid or something? I don't know. But Snyder also said that Kaylee Spaney was the top choice for Rogue. We saw that the other day. Monica Barbaro is being considered for
Monica Barbaro.
Ruth.
Have you seen One Night Only?
No, I've seen the trailer with her fucking titties popping out of that damn
I'm just
dress.
saying.
And I have no interest in that movie whatsoever, but like I'll watch
Monica
it like
Barbaro,
on mute, like for that.
I'm sorry. It's a great movie, and I just Top Gun Maverick.
Did it come out already?
It's out. Like I saw there was an early. I get an invite to an early screening, but it is coming out soon. But yeah, Monica Barbaro, please do join the X-Men. I would totally love to see her playing Ruth or whatever character that's gonna be.
But
I think Monica Barbaro is
we don't know if that's an
making.
actual part, a code name for something. So, he did say that Adam Driver is already attached to the film, but has heard mixed things about whether he's playing Magneto, Mr. Sinister, or William Stryker or Donald Pierce. Even though Kevin Feige just
we'll
said,
talk about that later. Hold on, we're gonna get into that.
A very interesting thing in regards to that, but we'll see.
Yes,
Kevin
Feige did address it.
But yeah. John Roca, whose track record includes Hulk and Punisher's involvement in Spider-Man New Day, also shared what he's heard. According to his sources, Patrick Wilson is not in the running for Professor X, and Skarsgård is indeed the top choice. He reiterated that Driver will play the villain, though the exact role remains unclear. Like, guys, you're going after the wrong beast here. It's like, literally, like, Patrick Wilson would be the most perfect man for the role. I get it. He ate a cockroach, and that was the thing that killed the DCEU. I got it.
It wasn't
but, like,
that... It was,
but like, come on, guys,
he would just
so
to have
good.
It was,
he would literally. I actually sent this to a friend of mine, where it was the pic since Bill Skarsgård and Austin Butler look very very similar. I sent a picture of bald Austin Butler in Dune Part 2 to him, and I'm like, oh my god, this is what Bill Skarsgård would fucking look like as Professor X.
You ain't wrong. But dude, Bill Skarsgård's got that intense stare going, It's like
but it's just like I just see Pennywise when I look at that face.
Like the old man X, the young man X, another young man X there.
Like, come on, like Dan Stevens, perfect full circle moment. Patrick Wilson, good fatherly mentorship kind of character. Yeah. And then you go with the guy who played Pennywise. But hey, if that keeps him away from the DC side of things as Joker, then sure, I'm all for it. Because stop having here's the thing, I will take him as Professor X before I fucking take him as Joker. Like at least Professor X is different than anything he's ever done. Like I'll give it that. Like it's so different. So like cool, great. I'm into that. And my boy needs redemption after The Crow. Like that was beyond horse shit. So like he does need a little redemption. I don't even know what is beyond horse shit,
but that's if it's on that scale. But yeah, the other thing you mentioned.
No, I couldn't give a flying fuck about Downton Abbey. Dan Stevens is my boy from Legion. Come on now.
Yes. Also in the MonsterVerse, by the way, Charles Melton, by the way, he also was mentioned potentially for the role of Beast, and then
Yeah,
Cooper
I do
Hoffman
remember
we
talking
talked
about that. Cooper
So-
Hoffman as Cyclops. No, keep my boy Chonky, please. Neither Wolverine or
he's
Magneto
not
will be a
that
part of the
chunk.
film.
Okay.
Thank fucking God. He confirmed that Emma Frost is in the movie and that Margot Robbie is the studio's top choice to play her.
Hey, my nerd girl.
Ew. Though it sounds like the 3-time
Who's
Oscar
in it?
nominee may be too pricey. Snyder floated Michelle Randolph as another name he's heard connected to the project, which could be good. I think I remember
She was in
like
Love
seeing
Story,
because my
right?
parents were watching
Michelle-
an episode of 1923 and I think I
Oh,
saw
1923. Okay, yeah.
her.
Wasn't
but,
she the Brendan Sklenar love interest, like that couple in the
I
show?
think so.
Yeah.
I think that's-
Oh,
I
also
think that's her
Margot
right
Robbie
there.
as what? Oh yeah. What? Who did they say Margot Robbie? They want her as Emma Frost. I'm
Yeah,
okay with that.
Emma Frost.
I'm okay
The
with
Guest, great film. I can't wait for Onslaught. That looks really good.
that. I can't wait
No.
to see One Night Stand again. That's so.
No, he's too fucking old, man. He's too old. They want like teenagers for this shit. He would
just
be
saying-
honestly. It would be interesting to see him as Professor X. Not gonna lie.
I'm just saying, I'd love to see Monica Barbaro in the MCU. I'd love to see her in the DCU. I think she's a star.
I'd like to see her in other ways that I'm not gonna explain here. 'Cause,
Sure,
you know,
John.
it's,
Thank you.
It's you
What
know.
a vivid imagination you have. Let's move on to the next story.
I mean, they're not leaving a lot to the fucking imagination with that goddamn dress in One Night Only. Like, goddamn, bro.
Hey, you know what? If it is anything like Anyone But You, then you know what? I'm there.
But
I'm
anyway,
there for
going
it.
from one thing to another, Ryan Coogler is reportedly overseeing the casting of Storm, who will appear in Black Panther 3. They want to make her the second most
MPG.
powerful mutant after Jean Grey while showcasing her full potential on big screen for the first time. I'm cool with that. Like, I like Halle Berry, but Halle
Yeah.
Berry was, say what you will, Halle Berry, very good actress. Storm was
But dude,
not that great.
You know what this question this brings on, right? Like Ryan Coogler is personally overseeing the casting of Storm. Allegedly. If it is true, then Ryan Coogler also happens to be the guy in charge of the Black Panther franchise. I don't know, John. I'm like, that T'Challa is gonna get aged up. We're gonna have a young Storm. Maybe we can do the whole, couple thing. This to me is a good thing. This to me is one of the best. If this is true, Ryan Coogler overseeing the Storm casting for the MCU would be great.
You know what it's kind of like?
would
It's
be
kind of like James
almost
Gunn
perfect.
casting Millie Alcock as Supergirl. I'm like,
Yeah.
thank God he was the one that did that, because if that was in Craig Gillespie's hands, we probably would have had a garbage Supergirl.
You never know. I don't think. Well, I don't know. Well, he did cast. Didn't he cast? I don't know if he cast for Cruella or if that was just he walked in and they already had Emma Stone attached. But anyway, all right. Well, let's keep going. There's one more thing. Kevin Feige has been doing the press junket talking about Spider-Man Brand New Day. He doesn't do this very often, but he's been out there promoting both.
He's
Brand
like,
New
all
Day
right, I
and
got to
Doomsday.
one up James Gunn at this point.
So-
let me get in on this action.
I think he was on one of the podcasts, Josh Horowitz.
Yes, it was
podcast.
Josh Horowitz.
So
He asked
addressed
Kevin
the
Feige
Adam
about
Driver
Adam
thing.
Driver potentially
Yeah.
joining the MCU amid rumors the Star Wars actor is playing Mr. Sinister. While those claims weren't put directly to Feige, Driver is someone he says has been on Marvel's radar for some time. Many, many, many conversations. It's no secret that we'd like to, but it's a tradition to Zoom with him, and then he passes. He also turned down Reed Richards. That's a long-lived tradition. It couldn't be any more cordial. He's usually upfront about how he's feeling. So he mentioned a little bit vaguer with Ryan Gosling and Cynthia Erivo, speaking of Storm, would like to play Ghost Rider in Storm, and he said, "You never know what the future may bring. Both very good actors and great characters." So very vague.
I just like the how it's funny. He's like, "Oh, it's a Zoom tradition. We pitch him a bunch of things. He tells you, I'm not really feeling it, guys." And they're just gonna thank you, Kevin Feige, for deflecting the question and making us laugh. But yeah,
I'm feeling very excited that we got in terms of Blade. I'm feeling very excited that we got Wesley back in for a time in Deadpool and Wolverine, and he feels like a gigantic loser and failure that we didn't get off the ground with Mahershala, which is kind of implying that shit's
Sorry,
I think dead.
gigantic loser and a failure. Wow, how self.
You kind of are, Kevin. You kind of are.
I mean, his bank account ain't, 30.
I mean, yeah, he's
billion
laughing all the way
dollars,
to the
not
bank.
that's personally his money, but
He also confirmed that Secret Wars is not being split into two, and Marvel has not necessarily cast any of the X-Men reboots leads yet.
I don't buy that. Honestly, I feel like in a few days we'll get some kind of announcement, but hey, we'll see.
As for the MCU reboot is on the horizon, no, but I look to the comics as I always do in terms of our storytelling. After both Secret Wars, but particularly the Hickman Secret Wars, which was the 2015 one, there's a nice roadmap to where we can go. So,
Yeah. So
the Marvel Universe remained largely the same, albeit with a few key changes. Miles Morales, for example, was moved to Earth 616. So Feige is likely referring to the X-Men and Fantastic Four finally joining the Avengers on the new sacred timeline in post-Avengers Secret Wars. It's like, guys, just fucking soft reboot it. There's no shame in it.
So there's three big things here. The one is that they have talked to Adam Driver many a times. So he didn't say no, but he said, look, we get on Zoom with him, we pitch a few things, he tells us what he thinks about it. We have done it a few times. So he didn't say no.
I don't know. I have my own net worth and I just don't get a trust fund from my rich daddy. There's that. Bitch. Fuck you.
But
I don't get handouts, fucking little rich fucking brown boy. Get the fuck out of here.
Calm down. Okay. Well, as far as I think what Kevin Feige said here might address some of the rumors about how all these insiders are saying he might be one of like a dozen different characters. So that being said, I'm not surprised that, they've talked to him before. Like Adam Driver, I'm sure they wanted him to play other roles, but I wouldn't mind seeing him in the X-Men movie, whatever.
I mean, I would love to see Adam Driver. Yeah, I paused face. Hello. I would love to see Adam Driver. And well, I mean, you're brown. Like I didn't call you fucking slur. Calm down. But with Adam Driver, I think I remember him saying in like some interview or somebody mentioned it that he doesn't like going to conventions and he doesn't really like doing that sort of thing. He likes to remain as private as he can. And I feel like he already like did the big blockbuster thing with Kylo Ren with Star Wars. So now he kind of just wants to take a step back and do like smaller indie projects and kind of just stick with that for the rest of his career, which is fair. I think that's
shirtless Adam Driver. But anyway, hey Terrence, by the way, hello in the chat. So you were saying though what Kevin Feige said about feeling like a loser and a failure for not getting Marshall Ali's blade off the ground. Do you really think they gave up on it? Like you don't think they're gonna try to like do like Midnight Suns?
The way he said it, he's like, I feel like a loser for not getting that off the ground with Mahershala, and it's like that sounds like not getting it off, and then like it being, just done, and then that's it. Hell, they didn't even fucking bring him in for a fucking cameo for the goddamn fucking Marvel Zombies show. Like that would have been like I get it.
Although
it
that could be a scheduling thing too.
It could have been a scheduling thing, but like at the same time, he's also said like, "Yo, fucking call me. I'm ready to go." Like, it would have been a bit part, but it would have been something. But no, you had to fucking get some other actor. I mean, I would, and then with that, I would love for Midnight Suns to become a thing. Like that would be great. Because I feel like that makes sense. Because I feel like that's the kind of way to like make that Doctor Strange 3, make that the Blade movie that never happened. Fucking season 2 of Moon Knight. It could be a sequel to so many things. And then
I think it depends on where we go with Secret Wars.
I know. But like that's my
Oscar
dream.
Isaac
it would
is
be
open
really
to
cool
it.
to fucking do that.
I don't know about Kit Harington, but yeah, those actors I'm sure wouldn't mind more Marvel paychecks. but then the last thing, the last thing that we talked about was the whole Secret Wars not being split into two. I'm not surprised they didn't.
Chris Hemsworth and Adam Driver are both 42 as of right now. Chris Hemsworth is a little bit older by a couple months. To answer your question,
that kind of feels about right. I mean, Adam Driver honestly doesn't look that old. he's got the skin routine down. But John, the one thing that Kevin Feige mentioned, which I think is significant here, is the Secret Wars Hickman run, and that being the inspiration. Like, you remember last year for Fantastic Four, he was doing the promotional interviews, and he said, "Look, we're not really doing a hard reboot. Whatever it is, it's going to be closer to a soft reboot." but now he's talking like it's almost like Crisis on Infinite Earths moving forward, where you're gonna combine all the timelines, but you're not really doing a reboot. So I guess there's not a reboot coming. Every time he's been asked now over the course of 2 years, Kevin Feige said we're not doing a reboot. So the MCU is going to keep going forward. It's just they're going to change up the composition and maybe
I don't know
the
about
timelines
that.
will merge.
I don't know about that, Josh.
Yeah. Hey, Josh.
But anyway, let's move to peak, guys. Spider-Man.
The movie John will go see.
But Spider-Man Brand New Day star Tom Holland says a certain actress is the biggest gift of his 10-year MCU run. I'm going to take a wild guess it's his fucking wife.
I know.
So, you know,
yeah, take a wild guess, John.
Oh, is it Sadie Sink? Like, what the fuck else would it be? Like, bro literally fucking got so, like pent up from a game that he was playing with Matt Damon and Anne Hathaway on the press junket for Odyssey that he fucking spoiled his own life by saying, no, she's married to me, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So it's just like...
I know. I was like, yeah, like there's an obvious answer here. Basically, he was saying like he basically met his best friend on the set with, Ned, obviously Jacob Batalon. And they've known each other now since they were literally kids. And of course, Zendaya has become the absolute North Star of his life, which
yeah, to the shock of it, like a comic book movie. Certain actress. Oh, is it fucking
your wife?
Yeah, your wife?
The love of your life? Like,
Anyway. The chick who plays Betty Brant, I forget her name. The chick from Nice Guys, I forget her name. Fuck, what was her name?
Oh, you're talking about... Oh, yeah, no, I forgot her name, too. I know who you're talking about. I totally forgot the actress's name. I'm sure you'll find out. Marissa Tomei? That's a good one. Marissa Tomei. I mean, hey, that's... But honestly, Tom Holland cannot answer that question with any other answer. Unless, he wants his marriage to be very short-lasting. So, he did marry his dream woman, Like you gotta wonder, like who was punching above their weight in that relationship. He's actually talking about Gwen Stacy. Hey,
Angourie
imagine
Rice,
that.
That's her name. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's keep going, John, because the marketing for this movie is picking up. We're less than 2 weeks away from Spider-Man Brand New Day. I feel like we're for me 8 days away from seeing this because we're seeing an early screening for this next week with the Prime. Amazon Prime early screening. So they've released more behind the scenes featurettes, more marketing. I've seen a bunch of the international trailers. We've seen the new footage with the Hulk and the Punisher and all that. But John, there's a feature if you go down in this article. Who do you think? I don't know who you're talking about specifically there, Nelson. But there is a featurette. I mean, this is a Times Square billboard ad, but there is a featurette in this article, John, about the behind the scenes stunts for Spider-Man Brand New Day. And it turns out like a lot of that prison sequence with the hand, they shot quite a bit of it. They shot quite a bit of it practically because they have one of the go-to stunt coordinators that Destin Daniel Cretton has worked with before. And he, was like, I'm going to bring my guys in, my team. And they're literally doing on stage in high school when you got to make the fairy fly. You put a rope tie it to their, chest and then hang it off their back. And then some dude in the back is yanking a rope so the fairy can fly. If you go down, I think there's a promo somewhere in this list of promos. This is how they did the hand scene so that, they shoot that, which is, of course, this isn't revolutionary, wire work in movies, but they were in the prison set and the way they shot it is pretty cool because those ninjas of the hand, they're actually, jumping off each other or going up into the air. I'm not saying every part of that sequence is going to be practically shot in with the wire removal, but it does. That clip there, by the way, is the one. You guys should check it out. It's really cool. It's really cool. It just goes to show you they're doing a lot of these stunts practically, or as much of it as they can, especially the martial arts stuff. So this was rehearsals, so you could see Tom Holland's not dressed in his Spider-Man suit, and then he is there for the real thing. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I appreciate this. Again, like Marvel gets,
I also
ganked
really
for
like this
the digital
poster. It kind of
stuff.
you know what this reminds me of, Dan? Remember when this was months ago at this point. Remember I think it was a poster designer dropped all
Mhm.
those alternate like Man of Steel posters, and there was the one where the train was stuck in the building and like
Yeah.
Superman was on top, and I'm like, what the fuck? This makes no sense. This is like the good version of that because
I
it
know.
actually like makes sense. It's like a
Dude,
car,
he was
but it's like
aeroforming.
three-dimensional. It's coming out of a building, but clearly there's context for the scene, but they make it part of
Yeah.
real. That's cool. That fucking poster was fucking bad though. This was cool. This is
Yeah.
cool though. This is awesome. The
There's
tank
a
and
reason
all
why
that.
they didn't. There's a reason why that poster never made it into the official marketing for Man of
Because
Steel.
it was stupid. Like, why
It
is there
was
a train in a
stupid.
building? Why is Superman nonchalant about it? I don't know.
The
More
only
questions.
thing, if there's Superman and a train in the same shot ever, the only thing Superman should be doing is trying to save the train, not
Yeah.
standing on top of it. But yeah, cool. So, but I was gonna say though, like the fact that they're shooting so many or shot so many of the Spider-Man Brand New Days stunt sequences practically. Marvel gets a lot of flack for digital CGI heavy,
And then
sequences,
Tom
so this is
Holland
good.
put a gun to Kevin Feige's head and is like, "We're doing this practically. I worked with Christopher Nolan for 3 seconds, and it was a more rewarding experience than any of these fucking movies. We're shooting it practically, whether you fucking like it or not. You goddamn bald-headed fuck." So that's my headcanon at least. So he's like, I'm not going to be like Henry Cavill. You're not wasting me by giving me garbage ass fucking movies to work with. And then I'm stuck in the, no. We're not doing that again. We're not doing that. I know cinema now. I know cinema. We're not doing this shit again.
I'm sure that's exactly how the conversation went.
Yeah,
then
that's
Kevin Feige
exactly how
fired
it went.
Tom
Tom Holland
Holland
just went full
before
American and just
rehiring
brought a
him
machine gun. And
for
he
half
was
the
like,
money,
I
yeah.
will shoot you up now, Wild Bunch style, if you don't do what I fucking say with this character.
But hey, you know what? That Alma Drafthouse mural looks cool. If you want to go see it there, Spider-Man brand. That dude probably packing a few more pounds than Tom Holland did in the suit. but you know
Wow,
what?
okay. Why do you gotta be mean? Like, I
I'm
can
just
say
saying-
that. I'm fat. You can't say that. Fuck
Okay,
you.
fine. All right, okay. I'll watch
He's
that
still in
back.
really good shape. Can
is.
Can your fucking
is.
ass fit in that shit? No, it can't. Get the fuck out of here, Dan.
What are you, dude? What are you talking about? Like that's not where I was going with that. But anyway, let's keep going.
Rude. How rude. Anyway. But we got some posters. This one looks pretty cool. This one looks the hand placement's a little awkward, but it's
Very comic booky, probably very uncomfortable. Like
this is
Can your
boring as
hand do
fuck. That's
that?
stupid. This one looks cool. Like I like the Dutch
Spider-Man times
angle and all
Batman
that.
almost. Spider Noir.
I'm pretty sure that these are all.
Spider-Man
By the way, these are all fan
posters.
made by Wags Santos. Wag Santos. This one. Just kind of there.
These are
all right.
This is
and then you got like the
that's
fucking
pretty
amazing
obvious,
fantasy
pretty obvious.
and all
Cool.
that. So
all right, nice. Yeah. Fun.
Cool.
Good stuff.
Oop.
Oh wow. What a
but
photo
then-
that is.
That's my profile picture on Facebook. It's a picture of Dan Avedon, and he's wearing giant googly eyes on his
Sure.
eyes.
Cool. But hey, you know what? This was great. John, they had a whole cast and crew family dinner. Literally,
Tramel
it says it
Tillman
right
is
there.
just rocking it, bro. Like,
Yeah,
he's just
dude. Oh, the
rocking
chest hair hanging out. Yeah, family dinner for the entire cast and crew of Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Wait,
John, 'cause you know
Dan.
what's important?
it. Did you say family?
You don't turn your back on family. What's real is family. Your brother never told you never threaten a man's family? I don't have friends. I got family.
No, we're not doing that part. Okay, all right, that's enough. That's enough
There's
for
the
the.
What's
Okay.
real?
Sorry, it's so ridiculous. Or no, this is the one.
Family just got bigger.
I don't think Keaton is gonna be back. I think
No, why the
Keaton's
fuck
done.
would Keaton be back?
I
He's like, I'm
don't
not
know.
dealing with this shit.
Doesn't
And I
have
will
anything to do with
say,
anything.
Jacob Batalon do the gotta give it to him stance. Just like right there, CEO of Sex, right there. And Kevin Feige. Not
Oh my
wearing a
God! Wait,
cap.
hold on. There's
That's
no hat.
Fucking bizarre,
Dude,
bro.
Zoom in. Can you zoom into this? There's the
Hold on.
shot right there.
I don't. Hang
Kevin
on, let
Feige.
me-
Wait, did he actually like completely shave it bald? Like he just snuck in the background. Somebody Photoshop
No, he still
a
has
head.
like a little bit of a.
I mean,
like,
somebody
in the
Photoshop
background.
a hat
What
on
the
Kevin
fuck is Amy
Feige's head.
Pascal wearing? Jesus.
Yeah, dude,
but
Amy Pascal is on a different. Like, have you seen some of the hair in her behind the scenes documentary stuff?
I
recently? I'm
feel like
she's experimenting right now.
I feel like Kevin Feige is allergic to the camera because what is that smile? That looks like he's like, I just killed 15 people, somehow got away with it, but I'm still nervous. Like, hey guys. Or he's like on like fucking cocaine. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. He's rich, you know. He's white. He's probably doing that shit like, hey guys, I found some awesome stuff in the garbage. Just, you know.
Bald.
Anyway.
Great.
Then we got Destin Daniel Cretton, and your girl, and then
Nice.
more Destin Daniel Cretton, and beautiful.
Wait, you didn't say the girl's name. Your girl, come on.
I'm blanking.
She's
on her name.
she's a Bond girl, man. How do you forget
Yeah.
her name? You still don't remember?
Damn, I suck. I'm sorry. Fucking Everything Ever All at Once. Holy shit.
Everything Everywhere All at Once. She was in the section really bad Section 31 movie. God, that was terrible. But yeah, I mean, hey, Destin Daniel Cretton. I hope
Fucking
that she's
Michelle Yeoh.
back
Jesus
for-
Christ. Because I kept thinking Ming Na
Shang-
Wen. I'm like,
yeah,
no,
Michelle-
that's not.
I mean, I
Although
hope
Ming Na
Michelle
Wen
Yeoh
is in the
back
Marvel Cinematic Universe.
for Shang-Chi too. Yeah, I hope she's back
but I
for
was
the
like,
next
oh my
one. the
god,
sequel.
fucking Michelle Yeoh. Oh my god. I'm so sorry, Michelle Yeoh. You can punch me in the face if you want. I'd probably.
No, you
just,
gotta go,
know.
dude. You gotta go back to the Kevin Feige shot for a moment. Come on now. I can't believe I didn't catch that.
What?
yeah,
And
both.
with Amy Pascal, what are those? What are those? Like, they look like croc platform fucking sandals.
Whatever that is, she's in her try new things era right now. Which, you know what? Power to her. She's in charge of James Bond and she's doing all the Spidey stuff for Sony. She's got a great life and a great career. Dude, Kevin Feige wearing like a collared shirt, like that's a polo right there, you know, with like the white line accent, and he's gone completely like, you know what? It's a nice.
I just love
restaurant.
like
The
Jacob
hat is not
Batalon
fit
looks
the
pretty
vibe.
good. I think the chain kind of gives
Although
him some oomph
Jacob's
a
got
little
a hat
bit
on.
there.
Yeah,
Tom Holland just looks like every white kid in like the Berkshires
Yeah.
or something.
totally.
And
He's got
then
that thing
Amy
going, yeah.
Pascal just looks like an escaped mental patient. So does Kevin Feige. And then Zendaya is just like drop dead fucking gorgeous, like straight up aura farming with how fucking hot she is.
Mm.
And it's just like nobody can even touch her. And it's just like, this looks like
Tom
the
Holland
weirdest
can,
family photo
but-
I've ever seen in my life.
You know what it is? You know what happened here? Something must have gone wrong with Jacob Batalon's, you know, haircut, so that Kevin was like, "I'm gonna make the sacrifice
Jacob
for you, Ned.
Batalon's bald.
Have my
too.
hat.
That's the thing. He
Have
usually
my
wears a
hat." Or like, Jacob, you need to take that hat and put that on Kevin Feige's head, because holy crap, that is like bald. It's that whole energy right there.
Well, Halle
that
Berry
completely slipped
was
by me, by the way, when I
after
saw this
that was
first.
after X-Men, because Die Another Day was 2002, which was 2 years after X-Men. So
Yeah, that was an era of movie making. We had some
yeah, Die Another
good
Day
Bond girls in the
fucking sucked.
90s.
I mean,
the
they were
movies
hot,
sucked, but the movies were hot. You know, the certain parts of the movie were hot, but the movies sucked. You know, Famke Jensen. Just saying.
Rosamund
Famke
Pike.
Jensen. Rosamund Pike.
That was.
I mean,
Tomorrow Never
Halle
Dies or
Berry,
Wolves Not
Michelle
Enough, I think.
Yeoh. What's the other one? She was in the one, she plays a scientist, but you would never think she was a scientist.
Denise Richards. Oh my
Denise
god, as
Richards.
Christmas McJones or whatever the fuck her name was.
Whatever the fuck that was.
Anyway,
Okay,
we spent
great.
too
That's all
much
the
time on this. We
Spider-Man
got to
stuff
move
we got.
on because we gotta talk about Doom. Gotta talk about Doom. How you
Avengers
Doom?
Doomsday. The trailer's out, John. The
It
trailer's
is,
out.
unfortunately.
We gotta talk about
Here
the
we are.
trailer, man. Here we are. We got a 2.5 minute long trailer.
Mhm.
Let's talk about it. I'm gonna give you my reactions, then you give me yours. I watched it, 2.5 minutes long. It is literally the same thing they showed at CinemaCon. So if you knew about it, if you read the descriptions, it's been out there for months. I wasn't as impressed. How about you, John?
Yeah, this was like the embodiment of mid. Like, I couldn't care less about it, even if I tried. And I'm not like, oh, Marvel. It's just like, it was just like onslaught of shit at the camera kind of thing. it was just like I don't care. Like there was no emotional beats for me. It was like cool to see all these characters again, but like thing is I don't really care about the Fantastic Four. The Fox X-Men has like ended 6 different times at this point. So there's not much for me to like we've seen these characters end like 10 times before. So that doesn't matter. I don't really care about the Fantastic Four. That movie is like I didn't really like it all that much. So it looks visually, it looks so like they're trying so hard, and it just you know it just they're trying so hard to like make it like a real film, but it looks so fucking bland. I will say, if I had anything positive to say,
that's the point.
I know a lot of people are making fun of it, but I actually liked the accent.
Thank you.
Like when I heard that, I was like, "Is that Robert Downey Jr.?" And I was like, "Holy shit, that is Robert Downey Jr." And you know what? It's a pretty good accent. Like I'll give him that. I mean, I know they're saying
almost like his voice is modulated too. It doesn't sound like
it does.
Right?
Yeah, kind of like what Ben Affleck did with Batman a little bit.
He's
then,
a dude dressed as another dude playing another dude.
But I think I was surprised, and I know like the Russo brothers and Robert Downey Jr. were like, oh, he's trying so hard to this, like he didn't want to do this because it didn't do this and this, that, and the other thing.
Hey, Grebel, agreed.
I agree, but now like honestly seeing a little bit of that, I'm like, okay, so like Robert Downey Jr. is giving it his all. Like not saying he wouldn't, and I know that they're pumping it up because it is what it is.
The accent is good,
but like it works, and like I like it's a shit. I don't want to watch this movie. I'll like kind of like how I looked up Gambit clips after Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm about to make a name for myself, and it's seeing is believing kind of thing. Like you could say like, oh yeah, they're doing all this great stuff. Robert Downey Jr. is really putting. I'm like, I'll believe it when I see it, and you know what? I'm believing it. I'm seeing it. He sounds pretty good. The only other thought I had about this trailer that was not just going in one ear out the other, going in one eye out the other, is, oh my fucking God. Mystique looks even fucking worse than I thought she would look. That, like, Simon Kinberg gave us the Dark Phoenix Mystique, and that was ass. And then the Russo brothers were just like, hold my beer. That should not be in a finished film. That is genuinely
feels like
a
early 2000s
reprehensible design.
Yeah.
And my friend had this to say when we were talking about it in our chat. He was like, she looks like if a human somehow impregnated a dart frog. And I'm like, honestly, that's kind of insulting to the dart frog a little bit. But it's just like, we saw enough. We saw enough. We saw what the fucking design looked like. Don't give me that shit. You can't like if you're hyped for the movie, fine, sure, all this cool shit. Nobody can defend that Mystique. Fucking nobody. I don't care what you have to say. That Mystique is like I could design a better Mystique. Like the fucking the prosthetics dude was sleeping that day. Like go fucking watch the Penguin and then fucking come back to me and says that Mystique looks good. The white uniform, like, I could shit out in the toilet a better fucking design than that. That I'm like, I can't look, get this off the screen. I can't even fucking look at it. It looks like somebody ate a Smurf, spit it on Rebecca Romaine's face, and that's what we got. Like, I go, ooh, the white is from the comics. Okay, cool. I don't give a fuck. It looks like shit on screen. It looks good in the comics. He's wearing this flowing dress and it looks okay. This is just generic fucking MCU garb, and it's like it looks like ass. It looks like ass. I saw that, I'm like, is that supposed to be?
I mean,
fucking
Florence Pugh doesn't though.
I mean, yeah, like hello. But like honestly, do it. Like fucking do it. Like that's very in you. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna say this. Comics. Okay, guess what? Green Arrow got raped in the comics. Do you want to fucking include that in a movie?
Come
okay?
on. I mean,
we
but
saw
that's a bit extreme.
Batman's dick
It's
in one of the comics. Do you want to fucking see that in a movie? Do you want to see Mary Jane get killed by radioactive sperm? That was in a comic. Just because it's in the fucking comics doesn't make it fucking good. I'm just saying that right now. And also, the comic looks fucking nothing like that. So don't fucking get on me about comic shit right fucking now. Because guess what? Well, like, oh, by that logic, fucking half of Frank Miller's shit is like gold and like that shit, even though that man has not written a good comic in 20 fucking years. Honestly, more than that. Get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm so sick of like, oh, the comics. The comics can fucking suck my dick. How about that? Like, I'm so sick. Oh, like, oh, it's, and by the way, I have seen the comics. They look nothing like that. Okay? Just saying that right fucking now.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Run for your life.
No, full rant, baby. We're going, rant.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Run for your lives. Everyone, run for cover. Everybody stay calm. Everybody stay calm. Wait. Calm down.
Rant alert.
What's the difference between you and me?
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
We're not doing this right now. We are not doing this right now. I'm not doing this right now. I'm going to say this. This design is complete and utter fucking dog shit. There is nobody that can actually fucking look me in the face and tell me that this fucking design, that shit ass fucking haircut, I don't even know what the fuck that is. A wig, I can tell you that, because that looks like the most obvious fucking wig I have ever seen in my fucking life. What is with the fucking gold band shit? The fucking, what is this? What is this? I'm genuinely asking. What the fuck is that? Like, I'm with Caleb here. Like, this is making me like a Zack Snyder fanboy at this point, because I'm looking at this. I'm like, oh my God, what my girl? What are you doing to her? And I'm not even a huge Mystique fan. Like, no, Power Ranger villains look better than Rita Repulsa with the pointy bra looks fucking better than this shit. You know what? I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it right fucking now. Oscar fucking Isaac as Apocalypse looks better than this fucking dog shit. I will fucking say that right now. Oscar Isaac's Apocalypse looks better than this shit. End of discussion. We're done. That is, when you have that fucking Ivan Ooze looking motherfucker better than this, that's like fucking crotchless fucking thing from Fantastic Four looks better than this. Fucking Morbius's CGI face looks better than this. I will say that right. Figure drawing, just get on your knees and suck the Russo brothers' fucking cock at this point, because you are dick riding so fucking bad that your bias is out of here. Out of here. You can't. You can't. The Inhumans looked better than this. Fucking Josh Trank's shit looked better than this. Fucking Barbed Wire looked better than this. Fucking Bat Nipples looked better than this. This has got to be the Crow looked better than this. I have not seen a comic book character look this bad. That is saying a lot. We've had a lot of dog shit over the years. The CGI Green Lantern is better than this. Worst character design I have ever fucking seen in a major motion picture. Fan films look better than this. Cosplay looks better than this. The shit I just took 3 hours ago looks better than this. This should be rehearsal. This should be rehearsal levels. This should be what you practice on. You're like, oh, it'll look better. We'll work on it. No. That fucking Bob-ass Karen haircut that looks so fake. It looks like fucking There's Something About Mary when she puts Ben Stiller's jizz in her hair. That's what that fucking looks like. And why is she wearing the Superman logo? Why the fuck does she have the Superman logo in the shape of like the boob window of Power Girl? What is this? What actual fucking shit is this? I need water. My throat's dry right now. Because the thing is, I saw it for 2 seconds. Now that I'm fucking looking at this, I want to puke. I want to throw up right now.
It kind of looks like
I need
played
water.
Rogue?
I'll be back.
Okay, I mean, she almost kind of looks like in this particular like still frame. She looks like Anna Paquin, who played Rogue in the X-Men movies. But yeah, taser face. Okay, John. Look, here's the thing. I don't think the look of Mystique. I don't know if it's a woke thing or anything like that. I don't think her look of Mystique is going to kill the movie, or it's not like this.
It's not gonna kill the movie at all. I'm just saying it looks like complete dog shit, bro.
No, I don't. Well, look, we know that the reason why they did this or this design was because Rebecca Romijn wanted to come back, but didn't want to do the
here's the thing.
full body thing.
I get it. I get why she didn't want to do that. That's that process took way too long. She's older. She doesn't want to deal with that. I get that. However, you could have given us something that wasn't fucking this. Bro. Well, Jerry O'Connell should be embarrassed at this point. And he's not even in this movie. Did they just give her gloves? Are those her actual skin, or are those gloves?
It looks like it's skin, but it looks bad. I don't know if this is just the artifact of like a down resing of the image from whatever the original thing is, but it doesn't look. Here's the thing.
Okay, why are we fucking talking about? This has nothing to do with her age. I'm saying she's older, so she doesn't want to deal with the prosthetics. That's fair.
It took a lot. Like it took her 8 to 10 hours to do that.
That took like 4 or 5. I'm pretty sure
more
Penguin
than that
took longer.
I mean,
but that took like a long ass time.
Right. They made the process. Remember, Jennifer Lawrence wanted to leave the role because she was like, this used to take so much time, and it just was.
Well, that's why after X-Men Apocalypse that she was barely in. Like after Days of Future Past in X-Men Apocalypse, she was barely blue because she didn't want to deal with that, which is fair. Like it's a great design. I do love that design, but because it was very different, but it was
But let's I mean, I don't want to I feel like we're gonna get stuck on this for too long because I do think there's other problems with this. Like overall, I know I gave my hot flash critique earlier, for me, base John strikes again.
I appreciate you. Not figured,
John. I think the biggest thing, but I'm just gonna ban this one person here because I don't know why they're we don't talk politics on here unless it's directly related to a movie story. So please do not type that into the chat. I did just ban somebody for that, but anyway. So there was one thing I wanted to bring up.
See you later, movie spud.
Oh yeah, all right, man. Thank you for and hit the like button. And I don't know if I think we might have movie spuds picks for later as well. But this is
I'm not talking about it being a bad thing. She doesn't want to fucking put the prosthetics on anymore. That's fine. I'm literally saying that's fucking okay. Yeah, she's older. Is she an incredibly beautiful woman still? Yes. Is she a very good actress? Absolutely. I'm just saying she could put up with that for those first few movies because, she wanted to do that role. She liked doing it, but she got sick of it after a while. And now that she's coming back so many years later, she doesn't want to do that anymore. She's like, I had kids. I don't want to fucking deal with that shit. That's fine. That's okay. I'm literally saying over and over again, that's okay. Just because I hate the design that they picked does not make Rebecca Romijn any less of a fucking human being or whatever the fuck. If you say that shit again, I'm fucking getting rid of you because that's you're insulting me for literally being okay with the fact that she doesn't want to do that anymore. I'm literally agreeing. It's okay, cool. You don't want to do that anymore. That is 100% understandable with the prosthetics that you had to put up with for 3 fucking movies, in addition to Jennifer Lawrence putting that up for 3 to 4 movies. It just. Stop. I'm actually getting mad now because you keep fucking insulting me. that's not cool, dude. Like, stop. Like, I get it. We're having a piss pat. Like, we got it. But like, now you're insulting my character because I agree with the fact that she shouldn't have to put up with long hours in a makeup chair. That literally fucking makes no goddamn sense.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay. So, but like, look, we're not. Again,
moving on
like I
here.
said, we're gonna move on because it's fine. Like, I was gonna bring up a comment. I was trying to look for it earlier. I think I found it. Or did I lose it again? Here we go. So, look, I watched this trailer. I was like, like there's this sense of nothing new and surprising in this trailer because Marvel has been leaking like a sieve for like the past like year, but especially for like the past 6 months, especially since the CinemaCon. Because the thing is, once you put a trailer out of CinemaCon, there's enough people that go to CinemaCon now, enough people that have, they're not signing NDAs, they're not like, showing this and saying you cannot share this anywhere. Like, we know everything that happens word for word in this trailer. So to a certain degree, John, like watching this trailer, it's a good trailer. I feel like if it hit me for the first time and we had no knowledge of most of these things, like the doom stopping Stormbreaker part, and some of the footage here
that feels
is linked to the
like,
clues. But like, hold on, let me I know, but like, hold on, let me finish. Like, it feels repetitive. Like, the part of this trailer feels repetitive because they have a lot of stuff in here that ties directly into the stuff we got in the clues teasers. We do get more Ant-Man. We haven't seen Ant-Man yet, so Paul Rudd here, and Cassie as well. We get some shots in here we haven't seen before. I will say some of the VFX looked a little unfinished, although for the most part, this movie looks like most of the shots in this trailer are the way they're going to look in the final.
I'm noticing,
cut.
Dan,
But it
I'm
does
curious
feel...
to know I'm curious, like,
but,
before you move on, I just want to ask one thing, especially with shots like this. I've noticed that, like, I noticed with most modern movies that the depth of field is very shallow, but I feel like this, it just looks so much worse. Like, everything looks blurry in the background. It looks weird. I don't know if you noticed that.
Okay, so here's the thing. Because this here is clearly just a green screen shot, right? Because she's probably, I mean, I don't know if they went to I think they've shot some stuff practically. I don't know how much of her background here is practical. They might have replaced the whole thing. And because here's the thing. In general, like, this comment from MTG made a lot of sense. There's a lot of like small, closed, dark sets, like the new Avengers Tower, the X-Men Mansion. Everything looks a little dark and like flat and grayish and dirty, brownish, greenish. Like the same things we talked about Supergirl. It's like movies today, like you watch Top Gun Maverick, you watch F1, you watch Superman. Give me another good example. Even the Batman, like there's, it even when it's dark and moody, like the contrast is there, the shapes are well defined. You watch Dune, it looks beautiful. The composition looks beautiful. It doesn't feel artificial. It doesn't feel like, it doesn't have this like mushy VFX unfinished feeling to it. And specifically talking about here, John, you watch Superman is a great example, right? Superman as
Hail
a movie,
Mary,
you watch most Project Hail Mary is another one. Like, and they shoot a lot of stuff practically in those movies. Superman, James Gunn shot so much of that practically, even the stuff that wasn't practical, but it was on volume and they replaced it later and stuff. But it was really well done because the thing is, while these VFX may not be completely finished, you could tell for a shot like this, if you did it the way James Gunn did it for Superman, you would have done it with a wide angle, large format camera, or even not a large format camera, you would have done it with a wide angle lens with very deep focus, and you would have kept the water in the background in focus. So it shows scale. When you do a shot like this, where you have a very shallow depth of field with whatever the hell is going on in the background, what it does is it takes away from the importance of what's going on in the background. It sounds like to me here, either the Lanteans are doing, or not the Lanteans, what are the Talocons are holding the water back, or it's Invisible Woman holding the water back. And in this shot, you could show how motherfucking powerful, the Invisible Woman is. Because she's the one holding an entire ocean back and nodding to Black Panther as she goes on to the her Wakandan jet or whatever.
I was thinking holding an ocean back. I thought you were gonna say it's a reference to Famke Janssen in X2.
No. But it's the eyes. I mean, look, Vanessa Kirby looks like a killer queen here, and she looks wonderful, amazing, and a very powerful character. but it really reduces the impact of that because you've done the shallow focus, and now you're just like, oh, this could have been her standing in front of literally anything, because you don't see the impact of the visuals. Now here's the thing: Avengers Endgame is one of the most, especially the third act, is one of the ugliest movies of the modern blockbuster era. Did it matter for people? No, because for most people it was this big final payoff for a decade of Marvel movies. Now, then the visuals didn't matter as much. I'm not sure if the visuals is going to make that big of an impact here either, but one thing I felt about this trailer, John, that really, kind of forget the fact that we have seen some of this before, that we knew what was coming, that this wasn't anything different from the CinemaCon stuff, which I'm like, if you waited 6 months or 3 months, like, you couldn't have given us something slightly different from the CinemaCon one. But like, that aside, there's parts of the trailer where have colors, that don't have colors. What I felt about this trailer was, it was just like, I don't feel the epic connection here. Like, I know that I think it was Figure Drawing, or I was saying he doesn't see this, or Chimera might have been saying this, that they don't see this as the finality, like the final, big crossover in a whole saga, even though that's what it's meant to be. It's more meant to set the foundation for the future of the MCU, which I think Marvel would tell you they're trying to do both. But like, when you watch, like, for example, John, like, I actually, after watching this trailer, I went back and I watched the Dune Part 3 trailer that dropped a few days ago again. And watching the Dune Part 3 trailer, I'm like, every frame of that trailer looks beautiful. Yeah. And even the shots here where you have color, everything else looks ugly. And I know you're trying to, like, you're showcasing a very dystopian X-Men timeline and universe where they've been through so much and stuff. But like, for example, here, look, this shot looks super CG. Every element in this looks CG. It looks like there's the CG background. Anthony Mackie is standing in. It looks like, you know what? Here's the thing. This is the part where I watched these shots. There's several of these kind of shots in this trailer, and I'm like, you know what? This feels like the Zack Snyder's Avengers trailer almost, not quite. Just surface level comparison.
Yeah,
but
it's just
like, Dune looks beautiful. And John, the other thing, like, again, the emotional impact, that's the big thing. For me, there wasn't the emotional impact, which, because they're almost trying to skip across. Even, we're going to talk about it later, they're doing the whole thing of, we're going to have 7 minutes of footage, new footage added into Endgame, which is going to connect directly into Doomsday. So it's almost implying that don't care about anything that came in between, even though the majority of the characters in this movie, such as the Fantastic Four and Captain America, the current Captain America and everybody, they're all there because of those movies and shows that came out in between these two Avengers films. But remember, I'm just like, the emotional impact is not there anymore. It's just like, I didn't feel it. Like, for example, go back and watch the first trailer for Infinity War. It's like, and you hear, like, because there's a lot of similarities.
This shot looks, and by the way, that's kind of more pause face than anything.
We'll get to that, but like, and that was epic. But again, didn't feel the emotional impact of the sequence, because I'm like, Liz literally texted us, we're gonna have a Bring Me Thanos moment, and I'm like, you know what? That Bring Me Thanos moment worked really well, because they had just given us a Thor that had watched Loki die, that had watched all of Asgard's people die after, or most of them die after he had saved, whatever, a few of them. He lost Asgard, he lost his brother, he had just lost his father. Is that Thor? That was like oh motherfucker, I am back, like, the nightmare from hell. And that's what that moment was.
Talking about it, bro.
So like, it's just you don't see that. You don't feel that here. Like, the first,
we don't feel that. There's no emotion.
The first Infinity War trailer you watch, right? It's like the whole inevitable part. It's like, fear it, dread it, but it it comes all the same.
It just feels fake. It feels
you don't
cheap.
feel the same.
It feels repetitive of other better moments in the MCU, and it's just like, it feels tired. It feels like if John Coffey was a movie. I'm tired, boss. Like, that's what it just feels like to me. If you're excited for it, that's fine. But at the same time, have
CG
some
body double
dignity.
shot.
Like, it's like, oh, it's a superhero movie. We're not supposed to take it seriously. It's like, okay, then why should I care if I'm not supposed to take it seriously? Like, there are comedy movies that you still take seriously as a film, and it's I literally have an entire video on this on my channel. I made this years ago because like, oh, I hate the don't take it too seriously. It's like, then why should I take the film seriously? Even if it's comedy, even if it's, funny and it's not a serious movie, I should still take it seriously because it's a movie, its own world. I should take that world seriously because that's how movie like the whole basis of a director, of a writer, of a crew, a cast is supposed to be like, okay, we are presenting a different world to reality. Take it seriously just enough so that you suspend your disbelief, um and give
Yeah.
us your time and we'll give you an experience.
Yeah.
And that could mean fucking a silly movie like, I don't know, you mentioned Evil Dead, silly, inherently silly movies for the most part, or movies where it's like, oh, Deadites hacking people up and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's just like, so when you're saying like, oh, don't take it seriously, it's just like it feels like, then why should I care? Like, don't take it seriously, don't take it seriously. Then I don't care. That if I'm not going to take like what you're presenting to me seriously in a lens of a film to suspend my disbelief during, then I don't care, you know? Because you can, yeah, exactly. I mean, there are some like very specific moments like, oh, don't take Jason X seriously. It's like, okay, but like at the same time, it's just like you got to take it a little bit seriously to, watch it in the lens of a very silly movie that is not serious, it's just, like I've just very much disliked that. And it just, superhero media, it just have some dignity. Like that's all if you're still excited for it, that's fine. But don't take everything it's throwing at you like, oh, it's gonna be the best thing ever. It's gonna be the best thing ever. It's like, have some pride in your taste in movies. Like you can admit when a movie is bad, you can admit for liking a movie that's bad and all that. It's just like you can be excited for this. That's fine. I'm not saying you shouldn't be excited. You shouldn't be interested in the film that they're presenting here. But at the same time, I feel bad for the people that just kind of like I feel bad for like all the people that shit on these movies constantly and have nothing better to do, like, shitting on Supergirl, shitting on the Odyssey for very inept, stupid reasons. But at the same time, don't just be on your knees and just absorbing everything like everything is the greatest thing ever. Whenever it's like, okay, just like notice some critiques there, notice some things that might not be great. Like, oh, I could, like, for instance, Supergirl is a good example. Like I was cautiously optimistic for that movie because, I'm not a big Tom King fan. I was not a fan of the visuals, but I liked Jason Momoa, I liked Millie Alcock, I liked Eve Ridley, I liked what the action was showing. I liked some things here and there. I was like excited, but I could also take a step back and be like, well, some things about this fucking movie, well, at the time of the trailer, don't work. And then those things in the movie, when I finally watched it, didn't work. You can not just absorb everything like it's amazing and the greatest thing ever. You can critique it. You could say, "Oh, this thing looks a little flawed." I'm fucking excited for it anyway. Like for instance,
Yeah.
what's a really good example of a movie coming out? Like Street Fighter. Great example. Does that look fucking stupid? Absolutely. Is it gonna be bad? Probably. Am I still excited for it? Absolutely. But I can also tell it's like this doesn't look that great, but I'm still excited for it. You can have that like those like different levels of excitement, different levels of critique, and like take a step back and be like, you know what? I'm glad this is catering to me as a Marvel fan. I'm glad this is catering to me as a Fox X-Men fan, an MCU fan, a Fantastic Four fan. I'm glad this is catering to me. I'm excited to see Doom, all this other shit. But you can also take a step back. Like, this shot doesn't look good. This cinematography looks very bland. The visuals are a little iffy. Yes, there is some time to clean up the visuals a little bit, but we said that the last couple times about some superhero movies, and they didn't clean up those visuals, and they didn't look that great. So there is that as well, but that's a whole nother argument.
Yeah.
You
I
can
mean, like,
still look at it like, I'm excited.
Yeah.
This looks like the greatest thing ever to me in the context of me
Yeah.
being an MCU fan and seeing all these things come together. But at the same time, you could say, you know what? it doesn't look amazing, and that's okay. Anyway, I'm done.
Like, like the big thing about this movie trailer to me on a personal level, it shows it's like the MCU feels like it's been on life support for a little while, almost like the MCU on a meta level has been acknowledging that our best days are behind us. And it's like this trailer almost feels like that because of literally, like, I mean, this looks like an aged up, very like, maybe this Steve Rogers was bawling his eyes out for the last 24 hours, older version of formerly known, artist formerly known as Captain America. I haven't gotten my tickets yet, but I will get them probably soon. Again, I mean, the AMC app crashing and stuff, it's just AMC.
Oh yeah.
Probably like putting people in queues. They've done that like with a lot of the big movies, so I'm not surprised there. It's
Odyssey.
Yeah. Look, the movie, like, again, Russo Brothers movies, like, I think Infinity War is probably their best shot movie. Civil War maybe is up there because of the scale that it shows for me. I really liked Captain America, the Winter Soldier's stunt choreography and the pacing. I don't think it was the best shot movie, but we can, nickel and dime and nitpick everything. I don't think this is Captain Hydra, Nelson.
No, they're not. I don't think they're doing that.
But
they might do it in Secret Wars. Like,
this is
that could be
too
good.
early.
That could
It's
be an
just-
interesting twist.
Yeah.
But
But-
they do it in Secret Wars where when Doom makes Battle World, he makes Captain America, Captain Hydra, whatever version they go with.
Yeah.
They can make Hulk, Maestro, like they make him these evil characters, which are technically different characters. Ugh.
But the other point I
but-
wanted to quickly touch is like the whole Nelson about, like, dude, Reed Richards is not. Like, Reed Richards is just, again, almost like based on these trailers being sidelined. Like, he's the arch nemesis of Doom, and I don't know how much of him we're gonna get here, considering he doesn't even go to Wakanda or the Talokans. That is something I also kind of was like, it's, like, I like.
Oh,
okay,
hey,
I
look,
guess
there's
we'll
Herbie.
maybe-
I just noticed him.
Oh yeah, there's a
Kirby.
new version of Kirby, like new head, like a new modified.
Yeah, it looks
version.
more
Herbie,
futuristic than
yeah.
the cassette tape that he was
Like,
looking
look,
at.
to Chimera and Figure Drawing's point, here's the thing. You're gonna go in, you're gonna watch this movie, you're gonna watch it for the crossover, it's gonna be a big movie. I do worry that look, here's the thing. Hey, we're gonna get into the Mount Rushmore Monday later. And again, like, what I wanted to just kind of say again, like, I don't feel as emotionally attached to this movie as I felt like the hype and the, oh my god, Infinity War and Endgame. Now, it's also like there was a novelty to that because we hadn't really gotten that before. So, like, how do you, go out with such a big bang? Then you try, like, you can't catch lightning in a bottle twice. And so I do hope that, they don't try to do that. Like, this trailer to me tries to kind of replicate some of those beats of those, like the first Infinity War trailer and that Infinity War trailers. And again, you're missing some of those characters too. Like, you don't have Spider-Man in this, which isn't the worst thing ever, but, like, you do feel like you got a lot of B-list, C-list heroes. Like, you've got, like, for example, Black Widow in the OG Avengers was a big part of the team. She was never anywhere close to being the leader of the team. Maybe she was the heart of the team. Yelena Belova is leading, one of the these teams. Now, here's the thing. There's nothing against Yelena Belova as a character. It's just she doesn't feel like a big hitter. And I don't think they've elevated her character enough just based on Thunderbolts alone. Nothing against Florence Pugh. She's a fantastic actress. It's just that I don't feel as big about the character. So I worry a little bit about some of the thematic emphasis. As far as the X-Men character designs go, I don't think that's going to matter as much because I feel like they're only going to be probably in 1/3 of the movie at that, based on the rumors and then looking at this stuff. I do worry about, like, even though some of these VFX may be incomplete, they're clearly in pretty good shape. And the movie feels very dark. We do get some of the shots. I mean, I think seeing Sir Patrick Stewart and Sir Ian McKellen automatically elevates, the credentials of the film automatically. Because holy fuck, just looking at them, I'm like, you know what? You got some real actors in this movie. And obviously Pedro Pascal is great. Vanessa Kirby is fantastic. They're great actors unto themselves. But I'm not saying this movie's not. Look, this movie's gonna make a shit ton of money. The tickets are gonna get sold out. And it's just to me, it didn't feel as epic. Like, and like, I'm not a Dune fan. I almost didn't care for Dune Part 2, was slightly underwhelmed or left like, oh wait, that felt like an incomplete movie in the first Dune movie. And the third one to me looks visually really impressive, and you see the scale, you see armies on screen. The Odyssey just showed us that scale as well, and this movie just feels like a different kind of thing onto its, like, it just, like, I posted this on the Twitter account earlier. I was like, sorry not sorry, Avengers Doomsday looks visually worse and less inspired than the dirt left behind by Dune Part 3 after it stomped a mud hole into it and walked it dry. Like, it's just, it felt like that was after, like, I sat with it for 10 minutes, then I went back and, you know, watched the Dune trailer again, because I was like, you know what, it actually auto played it for me, so I paused it. I'm like, okay, let's watch the Dune trailer from last week again. Then I watched the Infinity War trailers again. I watched the first, because you can really only compare the first ones, because this is a teaser trailer. It's not giving you the story. It's giving you all the, here's the big characters, here's the overarching story. You get the monologue from, you know, Dr. Doom. And I do like the design of Doom. I do like the sound of Doom. And I think as long as Doom is done really well, I think that's what a lot of people are going to care about. I don't think, you know, Thor is making out of this alive, because, John, I told you and I told Liz in our group chat earlier, this moment to me feels like they're going to try to, you know, use Thor as the analog for what happens to Thanos, and, you know, when he comes across Dr. Doom in the comics, and Doom is just going to, like, rip apart a Stormbreaker like it's nothing, and then rip apart Thor like it's nothing. So I'm worried after seeing this, genuinely, for Thor surviving, or maybe he'll, you know, be, you know, resurrected again, but I'm like, maybe Thor is not long for the MCU. So there's definitely moments that got me excited, but it's just, it didn't feel as epic, it didn't feel as grand, it feels like this is, you know, the last chance saloon for a cinematic universe that's been on its last legs, relying on nostalgia for a while. And that might be my perspective. And there's nothing wrong with that if you can make $2 billion out of it. It's just, I hope that they try to set the future of the MCU up in a way where this franchise can reinvigorate itself, because this first trailer isn't very impressive. We had this happen with Supergirl, and we were like, we're hoping it was going to get better. It did get better, but the second trailer was an improvement, but then ultimately the movie was not. Now, again, two very different, you know, ends of the spectrum, but I'm looking forward to seeing the second trailer, because, John, the one thing that it really disappointed me was they waited 6 months to put this out into the world, and it looks largely the same, if not entirely the same, as a CinemaCon trailer. Like, can you respect the fans enough to at least give us a slightly modified version of the trailer?
The fans?
So
crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna go see the movie. I'm gonna go see it as early as I can.
Yeah,
but
I'm still skipping this shit. I ain't fucking watching this garbage with fucking human dart frog over there. Hell nah, bro. I'm not watching this crap.
But John, okay.
But
so
I'll
let's
watch
move on
Spider-Man.
from...
I'll watch Spider-Man twice to, like, you know, give Marvel their money.
There's a couple of plot hints or Easter eggs I wanted to discuss. Let's kind of get into those real quick, and then we'll keep going. There's a couple other stories. The synopsis for the movie we'll talk about as well. But the poster, did it? Well, talk to us about this. There's a bit of a hint here they're talking about.
Yeah, this definitely confirms the whole idea of...
I do need to see more figure drawing.
It confirms the whole idea of, like, oh, his family died because of anachronisms and or incursions, fucking excuse me. And so that's why he's going off on this whole fucking tangent, is like, oh, my family died. So, like, they're literally reusing Helmut Zemo.
Well,
like, that's
I think the idea is, based on the rumors, that...
I mean, it looks cool, but, like...
Right. It is cool. Like, I think the idea is that he was, like, Dr. Doom was trying to figure out a way to stop the incursions, and there was an accident, and that killed his family, including his wife and his kid. And so he blames, you know, Steve Rogers for it, because apparently his universe, the Fantastic Four universe, the incursion started because Steve Rogers comes over to live there, and Loki brings him over because he's about to prune the timeline that he had created by traveling into the past.
The tapestry, that's probably going to burn up.
Anyway,
so take the fire out of there.
Look, this poster is, for me, the best thing that came out of today in terms of, like, the shots. I know it's not like an individual still frame from the trailer, but the poster is pretty good. I like the poster. I really like the poster. It also gives you, because like this movie is going to be about Doom even more so than Avengers Infinity War was about Thanos, right? So you really need Doom to work. And I feel like there's one really good thing you can take out of this is that Doctor Doom looks pretty damn good. I think you said, John, you can at least agree on that RDJ is looking like a really good Doom.
He's putting the work in, bro. He's putting the work in.
He's a dude dressed up as another dude, disguised as another dude playing another dude.
Anyway, but Fantastic Four Sunday dinner interrupted by apparent Avengers Doomsday tease. How long do we have? Because it was like Sunday at 7 on the dot, and then it like and then it like gets fucked up,
and then goes to black, and you hear like 2 lines of dialogue. Yeah. So again, a lot of convergent marketing, which is great. What was the other secret thing? What was the other? There was like somebody was pointing out in the poster. There's like a little bit in the background that that maybe there's a snap is being showed, the Tony Stark snap. Was that the previous article? Did you just skip past that?
Did I? All right. Okay.
This one here, if you scroll down, that somebody was pointing out that looks like Tony snapping his fingers, which I don't know. That looks like it's Doom holding somebody in his hand. I'm like, that's almost an optical illusion. I don't know if there's I don't know if that's Tony Stark. Can you see Tony Stark snapping his fingers to bring back the half of the universe?
I don't really see it.
Yeah.
They stole this color palette from Lanterns. Buddy.
Yeah, I think it's drawing a straw. But yeah, the Fantastic Four, like basically their account posts the dinner thing every Sunday, and then this time around they changed it up so that they're like, oh, hint that the trailer's dropping. So all the lead up to the trailer. Also, John, the live stream, the countdown stream was running with the normal timer, and then it changed before the trailer dropped this morning, and then the music started playing, and then the trailer dropped at 9 a.m. So again, they're doing a lot of this, like, I call it convergent marketing. I'm sure there's other terms for it. So yeah, again, viral marketing, great way to try to bring the hype up. And there was like 13 million views on just the OG Marvel version of the trailer on YouTube, and just within the first 5 hours. I mean, this is gonna get over 100, easily over 100 million views. So yeah, but and that's
speaking of the countdown though, as you mentioned it.
Yeah.
So as you can see in the player below, the minutes and seconds are now highlighted in green, suggesting something is on its way.
This was in the morning, and then the trailer came out. So, but if you go to the synopsis, I think there's another article that shows the synopsis of the movie. I just wanted to kind of quickly.
So very vague, but universes collide and the multiverse saga begins its final chapter, even though it barely started to begin with. In Marvel Studios' Avengers Doomsday, beloved heroes from 3 distinct universes will be set on a deadly collision course and ultimately face an existential threat unlike anything they've ever encountered. This epic film will lay the foundation for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I like that. I like the way, like, foundation for the future foundation. So you did there.
That too, but also, like, again, it's the final chapter of the multiverse saga, but it's
even
also
though it's barely felt like the multiverse
for the future.
saga,
Hi, Sunju. But I'm just saying, like, this movie's trying to have it both ways, where it's setting the foundation for the future, but also trying to give some finality to what's come before, especially the last few years. And I feel like it's Marvel trying to have their cake and eat it too. It's a tough line to walk. So it's gonna be interesting if they can actually pull it off. Like, it's a lot. Dude, like, I'm not gonna say say that this is open heart surgery that this movie and Secret Wars is gonna have to do on the MCU to put it back on track. It's probably not as bad, but it's pretty damn close to it, because the MCU has not been in a good place. Like, you've had multiple failures, a couple of straight up box office flops, and the Disney Plus show strategy had to completely do a 180, and what they were doing wasn't working. Not to mention, John, last year, no Marvel movie outgrossed the Superman movie that only made $600 some odd million. Like, in MCU's heyday, Ant-Man was outgrossing the Superman movie. Like, it's just we've come a long way from that time. So the Avengers Doomsday has a lot to make up for, and then hopefully, like you guys were saying in the chat, to kind of propel us forward, if you are still a fan of the MCU, that is. But yeah, I do find it really a good thing that Shang-Chi has finally been found, because the last time we saw him, he was talking to Bruce Banner, and wherever Shang-Chi went after that, I'm glad he's back. Simu Liu has finally got something to do. But there is one last thing, John, because in the months leading up to Avengers Doomsday, of course, we are going to get Avengers Endgame Encore, coming back in theaters. And
Encore.
according to Cryptic 4K Qual, who's pretty good with this stuff, specifically runtimes and all, he said that he's hearing that the movie's gonna have a new intro, which I don't know what that means, if it's just the logo intro or if it's gonna have a new opening. Because remember, the originally Avengers Endgame opens with like, oh, half the universe is gone, one of the Russo brothers is sad, Captain America is going to a group therapy session or running a group therapy session, nobody's going to a Mets game, that didn't change, that's just the way it is. And then a bunch of other things in New York were not happening, and Rocket Raccoon was on Earth. But anyway, so maybe that will be different. There's going to be some bonus scenes, which will be interesting because you never know which part of the movie they're going to drop those in. And they might actually have a new ending sequence. So that's going to directly, so I'm guessing that's probably a post-credit scene because the original Endgame did not have one that will lead directly into Doomsday. So taking it with a grain of salt, but it looks like that's going to add a total of 7 minutes to Avengers Endgame Encore. Are you somebody who thinks it's going to be worth going to see an extra 7 minutes of footage in theaters? Just
for the fucking suckers and nerds, then sure, but
because like John, like what, like I think in theory this is great. Like if you're a fan and if you just want to watch the movie again, because especially if they're going to refer to plot points from that movie, such as the Steve Rogers situation, then sure, great. But I'm like, an extra 7 minutes. Not everybody's going to go see, like the amount of people that went to see Avengers Endgame. Nowhere near as many people are going to go to see the re-release just for an extra 7 minutes of footage, right? So I hope whatever they do add here is more just going to enhance your experience of Doomsday rather than make it appointment viewing, because I hope whatever they're adding in here is not going to all of a sudden, require people to be like, oh, I did not see that, therefore this part of the Avengers Doomsday doesn't make any sense. So that's the only thing I'll say here. Like, as long as it allows somebody who didn't go to see a re-release of a like 7-8 year old movie, as long as you don't have to do that homework, I think then we'll be fine. But an extra 7 minutes, if you're a fan, like Liz is gonna go see this because an extra 7 minutes,
she's gonna go see it 10 times because she has no life.
So yeah, great. But I mean, John, are you looking forward to a second trailer for Avengers Doomsday now? Because I personally want to see a second one.
I'm looking forward to Spider-Man. I'll say that.
So,
I'm looking forward to Dune. I'm really looking forward to Dune. So
Dune Part 3 looks so good. Yeah, let's hope those extra 7 minutes are not so important that it becomes homework for Avengers Doomsday. But anyway, you guys let us know in the comments. Did you like the trailer? Did you like it as much as we did? But anyway, let's move on to the next thing.
Let's please, for the love of God, make this quick.
So John, something significant happened. Remember I think on Friday, the judge, that is now overseeing the lawsuit from the states, the 12 different states in the U.S. against Paramount for the Warner Brothers merger. They had a new judge assigned because remember the original judge had to recuse themselves for a conflict of interest thing, and so this new judge on Friday had said they would make a decision this week on the temporary restraining order, which would for 14 days, for 2 weeks, would put the merger on pause. And guess what? The headline in Variety today was, the judge pauses the Warner Brothers Paramount merger. Now, I'm going to go through this, not going to spend a ton of time on it, but I just
when Caleb is clamoring to talk about a Nolan movie, it's bad.
It's fine. So this is basically what happened, right? The judge did issue that temporary restraining order. Now, the TRO, as they call it, here's the thing about the TRO. It's not going to end this merger. But John, the key is there's this one paragraph in this article that I think makes a lot of difference. Let me just quickly find it. So, of course, Rob Bonta, the Attorney General from California, had said like, this is the great first step, and Paramount was like, look, they're grateful, and they want to move forward, and they're still defending their position. But there is one paragraph in Variety that I'm going to read out quickly that I think matters a lot, why this was really important. If you are somebody who does not want this Paramount Warner Brothers merger to go through, then you were hoping against hope that the judge was going to issue this TRO, this temporary restraining order, because according to Variety, in antitrust cases, the injunction is often the whole ball game. If it is not granted, the deal is allowed to close and it becomes almost impossible to unwind later on. But if it is granted, the deal tends to fall apart before the underlying case can go to trial. Now, there's a lot that needs to happen before this goes to trial, because once this 14-day period is over, they could extend it an extra 14 days. The other thing they can do is they can get what is like an upgraded version of the restraining order, which is an injunction. And now Paramount is pushing for that injunction hearing with witnesses, like people on stands, for this to happen. They want to have that happen sooner than later, because now 14 days pushes you into early September. Paramount needs to close this by September 30th in order to not owe millions more dollars to Warner Brothers investors for the ticking fee. So this injunction can be extended by another 14 days, which would also cut it real close to September 30th. But if the judge grants the injunction, that's really where you're going to be like, okay, now we are very close to this going to trial. And if it goes to trial, that's about as close, or as about a best of a chance we're going to have for Paramount to actually walk away from the merger. They would have to pay a few $1 billion to walk away and break up with Warner Brothers, a breakup fee, but I'm sure it'll be a lot less than the $100+ billion they're paying to buy it. So it's if you were looking for a light at the end of the tunnel, this is the one thing. This is the closest to it that we're going to get. So it's a big deal. It's a first step, and Paramount still wants to fight this as hard as they can, and they're still got their best people out there. But the one thing that the judge mentioned in their ruling that I thought was really significant, let me just gonna find this real quick. It's significant. So the judge said plaintiff states, the states showing at least demonstrates that serious questions going to the merits remain, aka they've got a point, weighing in favor of the preliminary injunctive relief, basically saying I'm providing this injunction or this temporary restraining order because the states have got a point here. We need to think about this. Paramount and Warner Brothers will continue to operate as separate viable companies, competing in the marketplace while they wait for the court to adjudicate this case. The balance of equities combined with the public's vital interest in antitrust enforcement therefore tips sharply in favor of the requested injunctive relief. So the judge is weighing in favor of the states here, and obviously they've got 14 days now, and they're going to try to get an additional injunction, which would go a lot longer, and then potentially like either allow the two parties to settle before trial, which is most likely what's going to happen. But if it does go to trial, remember AT&T went to trial with DOJ a few years ago with Warner Brothers, and that took a few months. So I'm just saying this is good, because it just, if you get an injunction, which the hearing for that is going to happen in a few weeks time, that could be another 30 days. So John, I know you're not that interested in this, but if you want Paramount and Warner Brothers to stay separate as two studios rather than one, then this is the closest we have gotten so far to that actually still being
I have no hope that this will do anything, but like it's a baby step. It's you know what it's like, you know what it's gonna be? It's gonna be like a slight baby step, and then the powers that be is just gonna punt that baby across a football field. that's essentially what it's gonna be, because this isn't gonna do shit. I hope not.
Because I think, look, the thing is that the attorney generals here, their biggest
run out the clock. I mean,
it's
only 2 weeks. It's not like the 6 months.
No, but it's not about the 2 weeks. It's about like getting the injunction, which will last longer, and then once the ticking fee starts ticking, I think for the attorneys, they want to hurt Paramount. They want to make Paramount feel the pain, and then if they can do that for longer, the longer they do that, the more likely Paramount is to walk away. I mean, the Ellisons probably have a pain threshold there, because like how hard they worked to get this deal in, but eventually you got to consider your options, being like, is this really? I mean,
that's kind of what Netflix said. They're like, oh, Stacey, too much. All right, we're out, and then they left, and then they got $2 billion for it, and now they're off. Well, more than that, it was 2.8. So.
But yeah. Anyway, but yeah, you guys let us know. What do you think? The judge granted the temporary restraining order, which is a big deal. It's the closest we have gone so far to this even being a possibility. If this hadn't happened, then basically this court case was done and dusted even before it started. So this is a good step for the states if you're on the sides of the states, and then we'll see if they succeed in the next few steps. Well, we're going to obviously cover this as it goes on, because the next few weeks are going to be really important for this Paramount Warner Brothers merger, if it is going to happen at all. So anyway, stick with us on that. And Caleb doesn't care, which is perfectly fine. All right, I need to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Enterprising, this is the first glimmer of hope there. But you know what else is a glimmer of hope, John? Mount Rushmore Monday.
Oh
it's
boy,
time for Mount Rushmore Monday.
Let's
it is
stop
Monday
trying
somewhere.
We're already hitting 2 hours here. Let's try to make
Monday
this not
somewhere.
too long. I mean, thank
And
God Liz isn't here. Then it would be fucking 5 hours long.
Well, we have a dozen Mount Rushmores today, and the guilty pleasure movies is what won the poll. So basically, the idea was, what are
Caleb's is
that
just
like
like all
watch?
Marvel movies, all cape shit. Just
Basically, the idea is, what are the 4 movies that you watch that you know are bad movies, but you love to watch them anyway? What are your 4 Mount Rushmore of bad movies, essentially? And
it's like, well, the whole thing of like a guilty pleasure is like
Yeah.
you feel guilty for watching it, or people make you feel guilty for watching it, and you get pleasure out of it anyway. That's the whole basic idea.
Yeah, good pleasure. Oh, okay, John. All right. Anyway, let's.
All right, why you gotta fucking make it weird?
Word salad. Anyway, let's kick things off, John. We got a lot of them to get into. Figure drawing is not feeling guilty. Figure
I
drawing
don't
and
feel guilty
enterprising
neither. I mean,
you guys submitted
I go with the Nolan way of things. He's like, I don't view things as guilty pleasures because I don't feel guilty about them.
Remember,
That's why it was hard for me to pick
President
one out, 'cause I'm
Christopher
like, I don't
Nolan.
feel guilty about liking movies. Yeah, it's like
It's
I like
okay.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which is not on my list.
Yeah.
And I don't give a fuck because I think it's a good movie. So if you don't like that,
Yeah.
you can suck my dick. So
But you know what? Sir President Christopher Nolan loves Fast and Furious movies,
and he doesn't view them
maybe
as
that-
guilty pleasures because I just view them. He's like, I view them as great films. So
You know what? On the same frequency, there's Nolan. Anyway, John, I know that there's a couple of lists that we got pretty late. Like it was 5 minutes before the show started. So figure drawing and enterprising, we'll get to yours. We don't have graphics for them, but we will talk about yours. We have them saved up, but we do have a dozen others to get through first. So let's get to Johnny Rico's Mount Rushmore.
Oh no, Johnny Rico has Starship Troopers on his. That's crazy. I couldn't have seen that one.
John, what do you got here? You got Showgirls, which I looked at that poster for a few minutes. Then you got
Showgirls is pretty bad. Final Destination 3 I've heard not great things about. But here's the thing, like Day of the Dead is a good movie. So is Starship Troopers from what I've heard. They're like genuinely good movies. I
will
really
say this,
view them as
Johnny
guilty
did not-
pleasures though.
Johnny did not specify which version of Dawn of the Dead, like the OG or the James Gunn one, or James Gunn Zack Snyder one.
Well,
I don't know.
that poster's from Day of the Dead. That's Day of the Dead.
Oh, is that what it? I thought was it? I think he said Day of the Dead. Am I thinking of the wrong one? Let me hold on. I need to go look at the comments one more time. I hope I got that. I literally copy and paste the name. It is Day of the Dead. Okay, but apparently there's 2.
Because there is a
Am I-
remake that was made
There
in
is a
2008,
remake.
which was pretty bad. Maybe he's talking about
Okay.
that one.
That's the one. Okay, I confused obviously I'm not a horror fan, so I confused the two. But
No,
I'm glad I got the right one.
Because I'm like, Day of the Dead's a
glad I
great
got the
fucking
right
movie.
one.
I'm like,
Yeah.
that's fucking phenomenal. But I've heard Starship Troopers is also genuinely good. So I don't know. Like, I think this is it's still a good list. But I would say some of these are I noticed and again, I don't want to judge people's list. If you pick, these are your lists, these are great. But I feel like some of these are like not guilty pleasures because some of them are just genuinely great movies that I don't really fit the criteria of guilty pleasure. But everyone has a different definition of it. So,
Anthony, we'll get to yours later. We'll get to yours.
But
later.
yeah,
Keep
Johnny
going,
Rico.
John.
I feel like he had to include Starship Troopers because his name is Johnny Rico. So I'm like, all right, you got to put that in there. But yeah, Showgirls, pretty bad. Day of the Dead, I think the original is one of the greatest zombie films ever made. The remake I've heard is pretty bad, and I've heard Final Destination 3 is not that good, but I've heard Starship Troopers is good. So yeah, Johnny Rico, good list. I don't know if you're still in the chat. I think we saw you earlier, but I think he might have left. I don't know, but or he's just lurking. Next up, we got Caleb's, and honestly, kind of a shit list because I think 3 out of 4 of these movies are genuinely good movies. I unironically love Glass. I think that's a great movie. I haven't seen Lone Ranger, so I don't know how good or bad that is, but I've heard it's not good. Con Air, fucking action classic, great movie. And then Face Off, arguably like one of the best Nick Cage action movies of all time. I don't know what you're talking about, bro, because these are like 75 for well, the thing is, there are a lot of people that hate Glass. Like, I'm just saying personally, for me, I love Glass. I think Glass is a great movie, but pretty much everyone else hates the movie. Like, I've seen nothing but hate for that movie. I don't know why. I think Glass is phenomenal. I think Unbreakable and Split are probably better movies, but like, I loved Glass. I know a lot of people didn't like the ending. That's fair. They're like, oh, they didn't like how David Dunn like got drowned in a puddle of water or whatever the fuck. But I liked Glass. I really like Glass. I love Con Air. I love things. There you go. There you go. There's the bullying. There's the bullying. There we go. There we go.
Figure drawing. We do not encourage. We do not encourage or certainly condone bullying in the chat. But that was a fun joke. I will say this: the list Caleb put in there, Face Off and Con Air, and I think the why am I forgetting? That was the Johnny Depp movie, the Lone Ranger. Hey, remember John Hamm? It's an underrated Disney movie, but not a very good one. I don't even. Glass
I would say
is
the
so
only
bad.
one, like,
But
technically Glass is a guilty pleasure. I mean, I don't think it is because I think it's great. And Lone Ranger, honestly, I think Con Air and Face Off are genuinely good.
I'm just saying though, this is definitely like Lynchian, you know,
but it's just like it's just definitely like schlock. You know, there's a lot of schlock on this list, and I'll give you that.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Cool. All right, but they are guilty. I like Con Air and Face Off are I think two that
I think they tread the line between genuinely good and guilty pleasure. That's what one of mine is. It treads the line between guilty pleasure and genuinely good. But we'll get there when we get there. Right, dude, friend of mine. His, you know, classic block. Just gotta love it. Yeah, Batman and Robin. Dan's favorite
first
Batman
of many,
movie.
the first of several, the most popular movie today. Batman and Robin.
Dan's favorite Batman movie, unironically, is Batman and Robin. But you know, I think you know, Jason X, that's a good one. Again, I was just recently talking about that. So bad it's good, like it's so fun. And then the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, pretty bad from what I've heard. Pokemon the first movie,
but it's fun. I mean, actually, it's not
pretty
that good.
bad,
I feel like the show is better. I don't know.
But
there is a part where you do get this majestic lady who's very scantily clad, who gives the Rangers their new costumes, which I'm like, that part of the movie, you know, growing up hit in different kind of ways. Hey, Chuck Rod. I'm sure you agree with that sentiment. And then Pokemon the first movie, which is a good one too. I've never seen Jason X, don't care to, but good stuff.
Oh, Jason X is a lot of. It's not scary. Like you get Jason X is so fun. It's so stupid, but it's great. It's ridiculous. Like they have like tons of tropes that make fun of like the tropes of the franchise. Super Jason is awesome. It's not scary at all. Maybe a little gory, but it's so dumb. It's so fun though. Like I think I have to rewatch Jason X. It's Jason but in space. Like honestly, I'm surprised more franchises didn't do that. The only ones I could think of off the top of my head were Leprechaun and Friday the 13th, where it's like, damn, all right.
It's a good list. I think Right Dude's got a pretty good list.
Good list. Way to go, good Rob. List. Anyway, next up is Monique's.
Hey,
which
Monique
is I have problems with this list. No offense, Monique, but like,
well, let's go
Mission
through the
Impossible
list first.
Fallout is arguably the best Mission Impossible movie and one of the greatest action movies in the past like 15 years. And also, Defending Your Life, amazing movie. Genuinely an amazingly fantastic movie. I haven't seen True Romance, so I don't know. And I don't know what that third one is, but I think it's Out of Sight or whatever. Out of Line, Out of Sight.
Defending it is Out of Sight. That's what it is. Yep. Out of Sight.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Monique. I don't agree with
the George Clooney
I don't agree with your list. I'm sorry.
Well, Fallout feels like the only movie on here that I'm like, okay, that's genuinely a great movie, but I understand because you got and it's Henry Cavill. Monique loves Henry Cavill, and I totally get it.
Yeah, but I don't think it's
I totally get it.
You know what it is? Because
I think what it means is Monique loves this movie to the point where it's like, oh, you don't even know. So for her, it's a guilty pleasure because I'm sure there's people in her life who's like, oh, you just can't get your. If you could have Henry
if it has
Cavill to yourself,
J-Lo in it, that's like that's like epitome of a so bad it's good because it has J-Lo in it, and she's never in a good movie. So
it's right there. It's in the poster. That's with George Clooney anyway.
I mean, she has her face to the side, so I didn't realize that was her. But Defending Your Life is a fucking phenomenal movie. Like that is really, really good. Like very good and very well made.
Yeah. It's a great list. It's a great list.
Yeah, I don't know if
yeah.
I agree with guilty pleasures, but like,
But it's relative,
still
right?
good.
It's
Still
for
good
everybody
movies.
is different. So anyway, let's
Yeah.
keep going.
Not gonna lie, I thought the first one was it looked like a GTA loading screen for True Romance. Like I'm like, is that from GTA? And then I'm like, no, wait, no, it's
great
not.
poster. Great. I zoomed into it.
Yeah, another friend of mine, Friday vs. Jason, Predator 2, Daredevil, and Friday the 13th Part 7. Honestly, I don't think any of these are I don't think Daredevil should be a guilty pleasure. Freddy versus Jason, I'll talk about it later, is kind of like threading the line between good and guilty pleasure. I haven't seen Predator 2. I would say Friday the 13th Part 7 is definitely kind of the feeling of like it is kind of guilty pleasure, but also a genuinely pretty good slasher. But yeah, Predator 2 is like, from what I've heard, is like actually great. Like it's arguably better than the first one. So I don't know if that's a really guilty pleasure.
Didn't Sterling want to put a cinematic Sterling want to put, what was it? It was a Halloween 3, then they changed their mind.
Yeah, because I was talking with him about, he's a friend of mine, so I'm like, Halloween 3 is a fucking great movie. He's like, honestly, you're right. I'm gonna pick Freddy vs. Jason instead.
By the way, I only choose the best posters.
My name is John, not Jon. You gotta start spelling it right, man. Jon's not my name.
I'm just gonna say Jennifer Garner is the best Elektra. So great movie.
Elodie Young is. Both of them are kind of mid to me, but you know, that's just me.
Sure,
but Daredevil's a great movie. Like
beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So cool.
Yeah, definitely. It's a shame that Kane Hodder's arguably one of the best Jasons, yet he had all the terrible movies, which was Part 8, Part 9, and Jason
X.
X.
Did you do a tier list of that? I feel like if you did you do a tier list for that?
We did tier lists of Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't think we did the Friday the 13th.
It was an option. Maybe we'll do it this year. We'll put it on the poll again.
The thing is, our next tier list is most likely going to be horror franchises because that's what's winning right now. So we'll definitely be talking about those. But yeah, good list. Good stuff. Next up, Ben's Mount Rushmore. You have the Fantastic Four. Speaking of Fantastic Four, with Doomsday, then you got the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. You got Freddy vs. Jason, and then Batman Forever. Guys, come on, Batman Forever, genuinely great movie. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, this is a good list. This is a good guilty pleasure list.
Sorry, I don't know what your thoughts are. Audio kind of flipped out there. Ben has a pretty good, the original movie of its time. Enjoyed it. Is my audio coming in good with you guys?
Say something again.
I think my audio. Okay, cool. Can you guys hear me? Am I good? Did something? Yeah. Am I back? Okay, cool. Yeah, the original Fantastic Four, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. We've seen those. We have Fantastic Four. We're gonna see actually one more time. And you know what? Of course.
I love how they use that in the Lego
Batman Forever. Great. Batman Forever, Black Rubber. Oh, it's. Cool.
I will say, I would say Batman Forever is a genuinely good movie. The rest, I haven't seen Power Rangers, so I don't know. But yeah, Fantastic Four.
Ask that to the Riddler and that, and ask that to Tommy Lee Jones how his perception of Batman.
Yeah, but I will say, I don't care what anybody says. Jim Carrey was better than Paul Dano. I was in denial for a while, but then I was like,
if you say so.
Yeah. Well, he actually felt like the Riddler rather than the Zodiac killer covered in duct tape.
Well, but that's the point. It's not meant to be the comic book literal.
And it sucks. So fuck that shit.
But you know what? Famously, Nicole Kidman signed up for this movie simply so she could kiss Val Kilmer, and she got a chance to do that.
Well, so it's like she wanted to fuck Batman, and it's like that's fair. Like honestly,
it's completely fair.
Yeah.
By
but
the way,
anyway,
I've noticed that Val Kilmer's Batman under the mask looks closest to Pete Holmes' Batman, the way he looks under the mask. They've got like very similar chin structure.
I will say this: Val Kilmer's probably the most underrated Batman. Like,
true.
I think he did a lot of good stuff. Marco, okay, what are we doing here? RoboCop is one of the greatest action fucking movies of the 80s. That is not a guilty pleasure. That movie's genuinely awesome. Naked Gun, definitely not a guilty pleasure. That's a great, like, that is easily the second best Naked Gun movie, like, by far. And then you have Hot Shots Part 2, which, fun times. Again, like, stupid comedy movie, but still a good movie. And then I will say Last Action Hero is kind of dumb. I've seen bits and pieces of that. It's a little dumb, but
The new Naked Gun is a fun movie. I don't know if he wanted to do the OG or the new one. I just picked the new one because I again, you didn't specify the year or so.
no, you just want to put Pamela Anderson on the fucking thumbnail, bro.
I mean, come on now. I mean, there's a pattern. Have you guys not noticed yet? You didn't even see Daredevil in his poster. But yeah, The Last Action Hero. These are good movies. I mean, look, RoboCop famously, like, it's a movie of its time. It's
No,
not really
fuck that shit.
good,
One of the
but
greatest action movies of all time. I don't care what anybody says.
I'm
That is
just-
a
I'm
fucking
just-
genuinely amazing movie.
It's a cult.
and
It's a cult
timeless.
classic. It's a cult anyway. All
Well,
right.
it's timeless. Anyway,
Well, now we got
Movie Spud.
Good list.
we
what?
got
The Day After
Fantastic
Tomorrow.
Four. We got The Wiz. We
Yeah.
got Day After Tomorrow. Now this is what I'm talking. See, this is why Movie Spud's fucking Kino, because he always has the best fucking list. You got Fantastic
Be like
Four,
Movie Spud.
Schlock, The Wiz, garbage, but hilarious. Day After Tomorrow, I enjoy it, but it's not. That great
I
of a
loved it
movie.
growing up. I
Superman
know.
3, perfect guilty pleasures. This is the best list so far. Movie Spud is the goat. He's the goat of Mount Rushmore. I don't think anybody's come close. Like,
And the Wiz is actually going to be on this again. I think
Yeah,
at
a
least
couple
one other
times,
person.
yeah.
So yeah.
Three Ninjas, that's a good one. That's a good guilty
a good
pleasure
one.
one.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's keep
But
going.
yeah, this is a really good
It's a
list.
great
Like, because
list.
it has like
Enough
the
said.
so bad it's good, kind of schlocky, not well received movies. This
Mhm.
works.
These are mostly movies that I almost would
Exactly,
not want to
Movie
go sit
Spud.
through.
He understands the assignment the best. We love you, Movie Spud. I
Yeah.
mean, how can you not love a man named Movie Spud? He has two great things in his username: movies
one.
and potatoes. Those are like the two best things in the world. Like, that's why Movie Spud is the GOAT. Movie Spud is the GOAT of Mount Rushmore. 2012, that's a good guilty pleasure. Roland Emmerich.
Dude, Roland
all
Emmerich,
that
he
good
knows how
shit.
to do disaster movies.
But yeah, good list. I mean, I remember watching Superman 3 and I was like, even as a kid, I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I've never seen The Wiz. I've seen bits and pieces. It's very, very dumb. But Fantastic Four, classic crap, and then Day After Tomorrow, good stuff. He understood the assignment.
stuff.
That's why Movie Spud's the GOAT. But then next up we got Liz's. The Wiz comes up again. You got Mac and Me again, garbage fucking movie. Yet for some reason Liz fucking loves it. E.T. but bad. And then
Well, Drumline's in there because Michael B. Jordan.
yeah, Drumline, never fucking heard of it.
I never heard of it until I got that. Is that even Michael B. Jordan? Is that the other guy?
No, I think you're being racist again, Dan. All black people look the same to Dan, everybody.
It's that Nick guy, right? Like, I forgot. Like, anyway.
Nick Cannon?
Nick Cannon, that guy.
The guy with the 10,000 kids. Hold on, let me fucking.
I don't know. I never heard of this movie before.
It is
and
Nick
Zoe
Zoe
Saldana.
Saldana, Orlando Jones, Leonard Roberts. Yeah, this kind of looks like crap. I'll give you that one. But I would say the TMNT, the original 1990 movie, that's a good movie. That's a very good movie. Like, come on now.
It's a cult classic. I feel like that's what Liz was going for in some ways. I mean, The Wiz is good. Okay. All right. Good list.
So good stuff. Good stuff.
We got Ben.
But
Let's go,
but
or
yeah,
Austin, actually.
then
we did Ben's.
we got my friend Austin's list. This is probably another goated fucking list. We got War of the Worlds, My Own Son's Hacking the Government, Perfection. We got Freddy Got Fingered, Baby. We got B Movie, by every single law of aviation, bees shouldn't be able to fly. Classic. And then Batman and Robin. Batman and Robin, good
That
stuff right there.
This just puts the final touch on that. Love it.
Because I was curious to know what my friend's guilty pleasure was. Like, guys, go comment on this so we could talk about a lot of movies. But yeah, no, he definitely came up with some good ones. My buddy Austin is like Caleb, but way better at shit posting and is actually a decent human being. So he's the man Caleb should strive to be. But yeah, good stuff here. Good stuff.
I never deleted a Freddy got fingered. What are you talking about? Okay, all right, Caleb. Anyway,
It's a bit of a normie list of,
Yeah.
oh, I got Batman and Robin in the Room on my list. Aren't I so special? Okay.
just some geeky guy. I got your list. I'm saving the ones you guys are sending in so we can go through them after we've gone all the ones we have the pages for. So
then we got my list.
Hey,
we got my list. So
Fantastic.
I have War of the Worlds. I've seen War of the Worlds twice. I have seen good movies.
That movie is cinema.
And I have seen War of the Worlds. It is so peak. It is so amazingly bad. My own son's hacking the government. That was easy. You know, it was you. Like, it's just peak badness. I was worried about watching. I'm like, I gotta check this out, see how bad it is, because I was like, oh no, because the entire internet was saying, oh, this is so bad it's good, so bad it's funny. I'm like, but more often than not, I'm kind of bored by like most like internet people's like so bad it's good, like The Room, Batman and Robin, like all this shit, like I'm a Maximum Overdrive. They're just, honestly, they're not even so bad it's good. They're just bad movies, and they're not enjoyable in the slightest. They're kind of boring. But when I watched War of the Worlds with my friend Austin, and we were like, oh my God, this is fucking great. This is so stupid. We fucking love it. And it was great. And then I got my other friends to watch it, Right Dude and Cinematic Sterling, and they wanted to watch it. Then we're like, okay, now we all got to watch it. And then, so we all watched it twice, and it was so funny. The Spirit, it is the dumbest fucking thing I have ever seen in my life, yet I had so much fun watching it. Not because of Eva Mendes, but it was, it was so fucking bad. But I'm like, where the fuck else are you gonna see Samuel L. Jackson dressed as a Nazi? Like, that's just fucking so bad. Originally, I was going to say, when are you going to see a black man dressed as a Nazi? But then I forgot, oh, yeah, Kanye West exists. So, I was like, I can't go there. Yeah. But, The Spirit, it's just like the dialogue is so try-hard. Frank Miller can't direct to save his life. It's so unbelievably stupid. I love how bad it is. Spirit's a terrible movie. It completely misunderstands Will Eisner's character. Just absolutely terrible. Dog shit movie, but I fucking love it. Like, it is the closest I have ever been to watching something high while being sober. Like, it's so bad. I love it. I love that movie. And then Terminator 3, not a good movie. Probably it's definitely one of the weakest Terminator movies. But like, it's got hot Terminator in it where she enhances her boobs. That was a good scene. I watched that shit when I was 11 years old. I'm like, wait, I feel something right now. And so I was like, wait,
it launched John into puberty is what that movie did.
Yeah, pretty much.
I can understand why it matters to you.
I mean, go, and then if you want to see something real good, you watch Blood Rain, because she has a full-on sex scene in that movie. But yeah, Terminator 3, I will say it's mostly a bad movie. I mean, Nick Stahl is terrible. Like, he can't act. He has the charisma and acting ability of like a wet bag of gravel. I will say, like, most of the story is stupid. It has, like, a decent idea where it's like, oh, she's going back not just to kill John Connor, but to kill his, like, teammates in the future. I'm like, that's a good idea. So he doesn't have, like, the support he needs to fight the future war. I'm like, all right, that's a decent idea. And then, but I will say the action scenes are really cool. Well, here's the thing. In terms of Judgment Day, the whole Judgment Day is inevitable thing, I will say this. I know it's a bit of a cop-out, but, like, to me it works. Because, like, it is in human nature to fucking destroy ourselves. It's just we don't know when it's going to be permanent. Literally, the Odyssey's entire fucking ending was pointing to that. We're literally just talking about that movie.
It's a warning. Yeah.
It's like the whole warning of like, when are we going to kill ourselves? We don't know. But it's just like constantly over human civilization. Yeah. We have destroyed ourselves time and time and time again by doing different things, by doing different, like, whole this other shit, but the common denominator is humanity fucking sucks. So I don't mind the idea of like Judgment Day being inevitable. It's not about stopping Judgment Day. It's about surviving it. And I'm like, okay, that's a kind of an interesting idea. Is it
I do think that's
cop out? Sure, but like, you know, I still think it works because it just feeds into human.
Isn't that
nature.
that's the whole point of Foundation? Like that's if you the Foundation books are the whole idea that the core of that is that civilization will come to an end, but the Foundation is going to shorten the darkness, right? It's an idea that's, I mean, obviously Isaac Asimov might have read the Odyssey.
Yeah, I mean, Isaac Asimov is one of the greatest sci-fi writers of all time.
Yeah.
And then Freddy vs. Jason, I already talked about it. It's like that's probably the only actually good movie on this list. It's very stupid. It's, you know, it's Freddy Krueger fighting Jason Voorhees. Stupid, but it is like I said this before, like it kind of threads the line between guilty pleasure and genuinely good. It's stupid and schlocky, and maybe to a non-fan it's bad, but to me I love it. I think it's a good movie and definitely one of the better ones of each franchise. So it's a cheesy banger. That's a perfect way of putting it. But
that's what she said. Cheesy banger, also the title.
I ironically love 3 of these movies, but I unironically love Freddy vs. Jason. Yeah, but like look at Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. They waited till the end and they fought for like 2 minutes. At least they fought in that movie. So,
I mean, okay, so Anthony's asking, do you hate Terminator 3 because it's poorly executed or the movie was just bad?
It's just a very poor movie. It's just very awkward. The comedy's pretty bad. It feels like, you know, even though I like the idea of like, oh, Judgment Day is inevitable, it feels like I'm watching a movie that shouldn't exist. Like it's like it feels very, and I do agree with you, Caleb. Terminator, like, what do you say? He said, here's the thing, though, Terminator 2 exists. I do like the finality of that. It worked. It was great. And yes, I don't mind. I love the idea like, oh, Judgment Day is inevitable because human nature sucks. But at the same time, it just feels not great. Like it just the overall story doesn't feel good. The acting is not nearly as good. The comedy's bad. The action scenes are the best part of the movie. They're great. They're like good. I would say like if I could see this in a theater, I fucking would, because I bet the crane going through the fucking glass. I'm like, oh, the shootout at the fucking cemetery. Great. Are they the best action scenes of all time? Definitely not, because, you know, the first 2 exist, but still a lot of fun. But it's just not a very good movie. But I don't mind Genesis. Here's the thing. I expected to hate it, and when I saw it, I'm like, oh, that wasn't that bad. But Terminator Salvation's pretty good.
Good list. Let's move on. I think
let's move the fuck
Terminator
on. Anyway,
too long, because it doesn't matter. All you guys have trash lists. Mine is the best guilty pleasure list on today's show.
Movie Spuds is.
You got Batman and Robin up in this bitch because, of course, you know, allow me to break the ice. Chill. Of course I'll chill, because, you know, I will need to chill after you watch Battleship. I mean, come on, Brooklyn Decker, hello. You know, also Taylor Kitsch. You know, it's just that movie did not deserve to lose $175 million for Universal.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
It's one of the best. It's one of the best action movies of all time. I'm also like a big military movie nerd, so I'm like, you know what? I like the Battleship in there. There's a bit of AC/DC for you. It's, you know, they quote The Art of War all the wrong ways, you know, in a very meta way. And then Ali G in the Ho, or Ali in the Ho. Actually, it's Ali G in the House. I just cropped off the poster at the perfect.
Yeah, you cropped it off very well, Dan.
Very well. Ali in the Ho, hey, Ali G in the House is a lovely movie. And you know what? I can't wait for the sequel. I still love the original. It's an amazing poster, and that's a cool list. Isn't it a cool list? And for Caleb, especially for Caleb, I could not put in Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
I thought you were gonna put in Transformers. I'm actually kind of surprised on that one.
Dude, I had to put in Ali G or Ali in the Ho. Like, you know, it's like I had to put something in there.
Wait, so which Fast and Furious though? Is it just the whole franchise?
No, it's Tokyo Drift.
Oh, but isn't Tokyo Drift like the best movie? Like, what?
No. Wait. Okay, you clearly haven't seen the Fast and Furious movies.
Well, because my buddy Jay says it's the best movie, and Christopher Nolan says Tokyo Drift is the best movie.
It's just so bad it's good movie kind of a movie. It's just fun. Again, it's my list. And you know what, guys? Come on now. It's like half of these lists are all about the TNA. Say it with me, guys. TNA. TNA.
There you go. Even Caleb likes
come
Tokyo
on.
Drift. That's saying something.
Well, it's not saying anything because, like, who cares what Caleb says? But, Tokyo Drift is it's the definition of a guilty pleasure movie. It's the kind of movie that every time it comes on cable, I cannot look away, even though I'm like, you know what? I will watch something else every 5 minutes for another 3 minutes of ads, but I'm going to watch this thing again because it's so bad. It's fun. It's a disaster. It was horrible, but it is so much fun to watch. It is so much wicked. Yeah. Wicked. Okay, I can't wait for Ali G, man.
Batman Forever is
he
genuinely
was selling ganja at Wimbledon. He'll be back. And, I'll be all up in that bitch. So anyway, TNA, everybody. Total nonstop action. That's what it's all about. That was a great list. I love that I spent only 1 minute on my list, but you got to spend 10 on yours. It's a beautiful list, John. It's a beautiful list. It's all about that T and.
All right, let's get rid of the ass so we don't get demonetized.
It's total nonstop action, John. It is my destiny. It is the truth I seek. It is the world I find, or in this world I find a way to cross the line. Tony will get that reference. I can't wait to see his comment on the show tomorrow. Too Fast and Furious, what was it? Come on, what was something about that Paul Walker says in that movie? I forgot. That movie was so bad, it was bad. It was so bad. But I know the cropping. You know what? Always. I'm here to provide, guys.
Anyway, do we want to get into other people's that you don't have graphics for?
We should. Lesser picks, but let's talk about it. You guys, for participation trophies count too. Anyway, let's keep going.
That's a good list. That's a lot of black exploitation there. I really appreciate that, Anthony.
Idiocracy, Black Dynamite, Dolomite, and Blackula. You know what, Anthony? That is a good list. Can't agree with you more. Black Dynamite, Idiocracy. Come on now.
Normie picks Batman and Robin, Armageddon, Jason X, The Room. Very normie picks. All right, boring.
Okay, just some geeky guy.
I got Man of the House and City Slickers 2. Do you have two others, M2G? Because that's only two.
I think he sent twice. By the way, Nelson said Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Street Fighter. I'm sure you mean the one from the 90s. Total Recall. Which one? I hope you mean the first one, because the second one was so bad it was just bad. I mean the reboot. The Fifth Element.
Total Recall is genuinely a good movie.
You think so? The one with Colin Farrell?
No. Oh God, no, not that one. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay,
that's
so I can't tell which one Nelson put in there. The Fifth Element. I don't know if that's a guilty pleasure movie.
Liz would probably string you up by your balls if you fucking said that.
Caleb added a few more. Ted, Flash Gordon, Hudson Hawk. Okay. Cool. Did MTG add any more? I'm done picking good movies.
I think of Dolomite Is My Name. That was a genuinely good movie. Eddie Murphy did great in that.
Yeah, the Total Recall remake was like the most bland thing. The OG one, I hope you mean. By the way, speaking of TNA, the OG Total Recall, they don't only come in pairs,
both
John.
Running Mans, I think, are great. I love both Running
That movie deserves so much better. The new Running Man movie, I genuinely love the new Running Man movie. I really did.
I rewatched it. I'm like, damn, this holds
Too
up.
Fast
this is
and Furious. Yeah.
Ew,
no.
Well,
some movies are just bad.
Name. I was being trained to conquer galaxies.
Some movies are just bad. You know what, John? I almost put Tropic Thunder on there, but it's just not high enough in my list.
I don't think Tropic Thunder's a bad movie, though. I've seen a lot of them.
It's like a guilty pleasure in the sense that it's like a cult classic. People love it because of but it is actually a really good movie. It is. But I almost put it in there.
No, The Fanatic is just bad. It's just bad. Yeah. It's not a good movie. It's just bad.
Anyway, that was a great Mount Rushmore Monday. Thanks for playing, guys. And do send in your picks. I recommend you guys to send them in as early in the day as you can. We usually put up the post on Monday morning, afternoon with the winner. Even if you want to, usually by Sunday we have, one thing is winning more than the other. So you can even leave your picks in the comments for the poll. And then that way we can make all these fancy graphics for you guys. But, obviously if you guys are sending them in while we're live, we'll try to get to them as well. But this is great. We'll have another poll go up later in the week, and then we'll do it again.
I almost put Freddy's Dead on my list, and then another one I almost put was Ghosts of Mars. Send us your ideas. That was a good one.
And with that, we're gonna wrap up Mount Rushmore Monday until another Monday. John, it's time for quick hits. I'll step away for a minute, so I'll see you.
Now this will actually be quick. Great. Guys, quick hit time. Let's go. Here we go. Add to stage. Come on. What are we doing here? What are we doing? There we go. The Odysseys. Tom Holland on why he could relax after Robert Pattinson casting. You're so good at being a dickhead. It's true. He's better at being a villain than a hero. That's why, like, he was great in this. But Batman, you know, good, but this is better. Good stuff. So I assume he meant because from like acting wise, it's like, okay, cool. I don't have to like lift you up as much. You could just be a dickhead. So that's great. Love to see it. Love to see loving actors. The Odyssey storms the globe in record-breaking 264 million box office premiere. So good for them. I don't know why it's here and not, you know, before, but and Christopher Nolan also said, if I owned a smartphone, I'd be horribly addicted. Aren't we all? So, you know, good for him. This gentleman, the Odyssey, I rode and sailed for 3 months on real ships on epic locations in Greece, Italy, Iceland, and Scotland as part of the Odysseus and Telemachus crew, filming the new Christopher Nolan film, The Odyssey. The days were long. We faced many natural and mythological challenges. As hard as it was, I loved every minute of it. What an amazing cast and crew who are all among the best in the world. What they do, going above and beyond to make the best film possible. So good for him. That's really cool to see. Next up, Michael keeps showing impressive strengths overseas, having now passed Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight at 1.01 billion worldwide. It's on track for a 1.05 billion global total, all for the most mid biopic ever made. It's a mutiny, bruv. Anyway, Jason Statham teams up with the director of Plane for a boat movie. I've seen this trailer a bunch. Just looks like Jason Statham doing Jason Statham things. Ain't that cool? You know, it's not cool, this fucking piece of shit Call of Duty movie. Because Taylor Sheridan and Peter Berg will be said it will be set in the Modern Warfare universe. The Landman and Yellowstone director is co-writing the screenplay with Berg directing. The live-action adaptation is set to hit theaters June 30th, 2028. And it's probably going to be ass garbage because you said no to Steven Spielberg. So frankly, I'm not seeing this shit. And the fact you're just making it a generic war movie in the Modern Warfare universe, yeah, couldn't fucking care less. Coleman Domingo and Robert O'Hara in talks to write the original live-action pick about Princess and the Frog's Tiana. So it seems like it's not going to be a direct remake. It's just going to be a similar kind of movie. You know, we hear that Coleman Domingo is looking to co-write an original live-action feature about Princess Tiana, inspired by Disney's animated 2009 feature The Princess and the Frog. So it's still early days, particularly as deals go. So honestly, that would be interesting. Again, I kind of like the idea of it not being a direct remake. It's more so inspired, another film with that character. So I kind of like that. I like that more. And if they are putting Dr. Facilier in that movie, Coleman Domingo is the only man who should play it outside of Keith David. So, hell yeah. New poster for Idiots, starring Dave Franco, O'Shea Jackson Jr., aka Ice Cube Jr., and Mason Thames. The film follows two unqualified bozos who are hired to transfer a rich kid to rehab, but their gig quickly turns into mayhem. This is definitely old school comedy road trip, Pineapple Express vibes. Definitely really cool. Next up, Sony dates Bad Robot's JT Molnar horror pick Skeleton, starring Brie Larson, for summer 2027. Productions is Bad Robot production. The new creature horror pick from JT Molnar and J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot Productions is a modern take on the subgenre, told from a young boy's POV as he slowly learns his beloved parents are hiding a disturbing secret about his mother's true nature. Honestly, I'm curious about that. I like JT Molnar when he's writing, not directing, so I hope that he sticks to writing and J.J. Abrams sticks to producing, because we don't need that man directing more. Anyway, speaking of J.J. Abrams, Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 4 episode titles revealed ahead of this week's premiere. And these are the episodes. Valis Marineris, The Griffin Incident, Human Best Friend, A Case of Chiaroscuro, Level 5 Transporter Accident, Off Hour, like Chronitons Through the Hourglass, Orders of Magnitude, Once on a Time, and Tomorrow's Enterprise, kind of like, you know, yesterday's Enterprise, which was a Star Trek The Next Generation episode. So that's cool. It's going to be the second to last season of the show. So with that, Afterlife with Archie, live action series officially moving forward on Disney Plus. I can't imagine this will be good after the last one. And I've heard the comic book is still not finished yet. New Ben 10 series in early development at Warner Brothers Animation, and if it looks anything like this, it'll be garbage. Masters of the Universe heading to Prime Video this week. It is going to appear on the Prime Video streaming service on July 22nd. That reps a 47-day theatrical to streaming window, which is very good. That's what we've been clamoring for, even though the movie didn't do numbers, but that's okay. And then somebody apparently watched the Odyssey from their backyard. So this is definitely, interesting. It's on the ship, and they're kind of just doing it on this major set here, so that's really cool. Obviously, I'm not going to read out this entire thing, but definitely very cool. So yeah, good stuff. That's it, guys. See, I told you it would be quick. Very quick. But thanks for watching the news portion of the show. Now we are going to jump into DCU Daily. So see you soon after this wonderful little intro.
It's another project that's been blessed from the beginning.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see
right there.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Now you want to get nuts?
Let's get nuts.
Here we go.
Victory mine. Ask me how am I doing? I'm telling you really I'm doing sublime. I never wait in the stewardess line. I just go do it. I'm moving my time. Really had nothing to do with it. How am I moving? I'm moving like you want to shine. Follow my lead. Don't listen to lies. I had to put me all on the line. That's why I know that victory's mine.
I prefer Jared Leto.
Hunka hunka!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to DCU Daily. Here we are. I am your host, John. Dan will be back in a minute. He's going to the bathroom right now. So you're just dealing with me for now. Welcome to the show. Thank you, everyone. Jalen is here. No hot Millie Alcock picks today, but I hope you're still happy, Jalen. And then a lot of people had this to say. Damn, I thought I was going to get... No, I love Glass. You didn't even mention mine, Dan. Oh, sorry about that, Enterprising. I guess we missed yours. So, something in the way. Nolan doing Nolan things. Don't let Dan know. Pattinson may be the best in the game. Honestly, I think he is. The Rock going to play the frog with a wig. LOL. Yeah, nice. Why not just remake it? Well, I mean, don't do a direct, note for note remake, because that's what they did with, Moana, and that wasn't very well done. Super bad vibes, definitely, with that Idiots movie. Jar Jar Abrams, guilty pleasure, Michael. Did he make anything for it? Yeah, he made that show with Josh Holloway that got, immediately canceled after one season. Besides Cape Crusader. Yeah, we don't talk about that. Please tell me that Robert Sakasa isn't making it. I don't even know who that is. But yeah. Please let there be good things to talk about. Don't hold your breath. Anyway, but welcome to DCU Daily. Obviously, we are going to be talking about a whole bunch of things today. And the first thing is, of course, our quick hits, because, parrots, ducks, pelicans of DC News, bird blindness is very serious. But you know what else, we shouldn't be serious about? Why so serious? Because the Joker has a Hot Toys figure. So we've been covering these the past few days. I could have done a better segue with that, but that's okay. He is also the showrunner of Riverdale and Sabrina. Oh, yeah, ew, gross. I'm not trying to. That's just how that's how the news rolls, baby. Let's go. Honka honka, yes. Think about this. We could always be talking about. Honestly, I prefer Zach Levi at this point, but yeah. But yeah, this looking good, looking very good. Bam, bam. I like how the hair looks like hair. That's definitely really good. Bam, bam. I will say he looks a little bit too thin. The head looks a little bit too big, but this looks good. This looks really good. I wouldn't get one because I'm not really into, collectibles like this, but this is cool. This is great. Love it. Nice. Anyway, but keeping on with the Batman stuff, I think we might have talked about this the other day, but apparently the real life Wayne Manor from the 1960s Batman television series has hit the market in Pasadena for $32 million. The historic Tudor style estate was used as the exterior, not the interior, because that was all on sets of Bruce Wayne's mansion, and later appeared in the film Bridesmaids, located at 380 South San Rafael Avenue. The property features 7 bedrooms, 11 bathrooms, 18,655 square feet of living space, and 4.84 acres of gated grounds. Amenities include a private movie theater, swimming pool, pickleball court, and sweeping views of the Arroyo Seco. Unfortunately, the Batcave is not included. The estate is listed by Peter J. Owens and Shannon Scavo with Christie's International Real Estate, Southern California. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's all put in for it. Yeah, you get. Caleb gets the couch though. Fuck Caleb. No, I'm just kidding. Some rich nerd is going to. Oh yeah. You know what? With our luck, it's probably gonna be like fucking like David Ellison. He's like, oh, I like DC, and then fucking buys it. Yeah, but they do have some pictures of the inside. Looking at this, looks very nice, very old school vibes. Very, very nice. Oh, I like this. I will say, I mean, I like the old school kitchen, but like I hate like the modern amenities. I wish it had like older ones. But yeah, it looks a little generic, like, but that's like you have like all these really ornate architecture and then you have like the most generic furniture ever. But yeah, looking good. Really appreciate it. Hey, I'll get the bat couch. Yeah, you get the bat sheets with the bat pillow and the bat. And your boy Zack Snyder, Caleb, apparently, wow, so much non-talent in this picture with Frank Miller and Zack Snyder. Oof. But he has this to say: an unforgettable night with the legend himself, Frank Miller official. Frank Miller's mastery has shaped so much of modern storytelling, from Dark Knight Returns to Sin City and beyond. Don't miss his powerful new book, Push the Wall: My Life, Writing, Drawing, and the Art of Storytelling, which you have no fucking vision for anymore, Frank. A masterclass in creativity from one of the all-time greats. Highly recommend. Pick it up now. Yeah. Nope, not doing that because Frank Miller fucking sucks and hasn't made a good thing since like 1998. So yeah, we're good. We're good. We don't got to deal with that shit. The Masters of Missing the Point. Correctamundo, because I blame Dark Knight Returns for a lot of the problems that Batman suffers in the pop culture zeitgeist in this day and age. Frank Miller is a blueprint of storytelling. Yeah, bad storytelling. Oh dear God, please next. Name some better Bat rogues. I don't know what you mean by that. But yeah. And the fact that Jeff Snyder, of all people, is saying this, the schlockmeister himself, the douche canoe, the hot mic of bullshit, is saying something right. Jeff Snyder says the DCU casting rumors are ridiculous and says the casting isn't coming anytime soon. Yeah, no fucking shit, man. But like, some people are like, oh yeah, it's coming soon. It's coming soon. It's not coming soon, bro. It's not coming soon. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, bro. Get out of here. Get out of here. So Jeff Snyder was actually right on this one. Frank Miller's Year One and Dark Knight were great, though. I mean, yeah, but like, Year One's good. Year One is very good. It's just Dark Knight Returns is just. It was that whole idea of like, oh, Batman uses the Robins as child soldiers. That's where that shit originated from. And I fucking hate that so much. It's like, oh, good job, soldier. It's like, shut the fuck up, Frank Miller. You don't fucking know what Batman is. But, well, no, I just, like, is it well written for the time? Yes, but it also does a lot of things that I think never escaped Batman in pop culture. And I don't really love that. But, true, because it's just like there's other Batman comics. There's other much better Batman comics, So yeah. But anyway, with Clevis and Peacemaker on the first day of shooting Superman in Atlanta after returning from Svalbard, taken March 15th, 2024. You got James, you got Peacemaker, you got this guy who's appeared in a bunch of stuff, but I don't remember, the actor's name. But yeah, good stuff. I think Ian Black might be his name or something like that. Something like that. Yes, I would agree with that. Fucking Superman being a government shill. Yeah, I don't like that. Why do they have to say they are not actively looking for a Batman? Well, it's not James Gunn saying it. It's just like that's realistic. Of like they're not looking for Batman right now because they haven't started pre-production on it. So why the fuck would they be looking for a Batman? He's definitely not going to appear in Man of Tomorrow, and that's the only other movie in production right now. So yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Michael Ian Black, thank you, Elite Easy. But yeah, trust me, I know what you mean. I know you mean Killing Joke, not the fucking movie. You know, yeah, well, yeah, because it's fucking stupid. It's very dumb. This was really fucking stupid. This is come from Cosmic Book News, the fucking shit heap of the internet. So that's definitely, it's a rumor. Another day, another name lands on the Man of Tomorrow cameo pile. This time it's Aquaman. Yeah, people have wanted Alexander Ludwig for fucking years because he's got the picturesque Arthur Curry face and body, and he's a pretty damn good actor. So, it's just like the claim comes from Scooper Live Warrior, so it's probably bullshit. Is making them rounds about, they have no proven track record on DC and no trade has touched this. Yeah, it's granted this isn't, this means nothing. And yeah, like he looks the part. He would be great 100%. But like, yeah, no fucking way is this true. It's just Cosmic Book News picking up on something that doesn't fucking matter, and coming from some dickhead who doesn't know shit about shit. Yeah, I think Nick Gallatin could be good, and they are going. It seems like they are going for a sequel with that, so they're probably gonna. Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, they already did it in the animated series. Well, in New Batman Adventures, they did that in like season 4. So, like, it's yeah, yeah. It's definitely hinted at. Isn't that why Robin left Batman to become Nightwing, because Batman was porking Barbara on the side? The DCU should invest in. What are you fucking talking about? It doesn't look a thing like the Super Friends. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, would he be cool? Yeah, but this is definitely not happening. Man of Tomorrow is rumored to have a scene where several DC heroes are fighting Brainiac's army in different parts of the world, which is what I said before, because it makes sense. Like, why would they bring back Joel Dueña? Why would they, like, keep talking about, like, oh, Maxima or Wonder Woman or Aquaman or all these other, like, alleged cameos? Is because they're probably going to have like all these heroes, all the heroes in this world fighting Brainiac's army, and that invasion, there's probably going to be an invasion, and that's what we're probably going to get here. And so, Blue Beetle's just like having a 5-second cameo, boom, he's fighting a bunch of people. And then, maybe like this character and this character. So like when I see like, this character's part of the movie, I'm like, they're probably in the movie for like 2 minutes, not even. So, no, it's not a Justice League film. It's just these characters that appear for 2 seconds and they're fighting Brainiac, but it's going to be Superman and, Lex Luthor mainly. So, yeah. It would be awesome. Hell yeah, makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, this is great. Just like, yeah, that would be fun. And then this person was saying, I'm afraid to take this leap. What if I fall? Then you learn to pick yourself up again. Batman Begin. But I read this in Michael Caine's voice saying, bro got Batman. Yeah, honestly, kind of based. Whoever's running this account is definitely based. We love to see it, but boom shakalaka. And then finally, March Marvel Madness. Disney has updated their Marvel slate apparently this was from months ago. So us talking about how like the Batman Part 2 might be squashed by a Marvel movie, yeah, that's not happening because we didn't realize that Marvel removed the February 18th film from their slate. Allegedly.
I know that we got this wrong technically, but also the Deadline article is where that information was listed. So I blame Deadline, but yes, technically this happened a couple of months ago because like they did another shift. So I don't know if they have another Disney movie staked out on that date, but it doesn't look like it will be one of the Marvel movies. So hey, maybe that's why they, DC
well, it's
went
in
for that
relation to
date,
Batman
so-
Part 2, hence why we're talking about it.
Yeah.
So,
But like I think that would explain why DC went for that date. Like again, like
yeah.
it still doesn't change the fact that you pushed off another 4 months a movie that was already 6 years too late. But like, sure, it makes it a little bit better that you're not gonna have to worry about Marvel playing a new movie.
We're just gonna have to worry about Takashi Yamazaki, which might be something we don't know yet, but we'll see how Godzilla Minus Zero does.
I know Bong Joon-ho's first Hollywood big studio endeavor didn't go very well, but Grand Gear sounds like Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
So that's still competition. So
yeah.
Although Pacific Rim also didn't make a ton of money, so who knows? It's like whatever. So.
Yeah. But now, Dan, we have to get into something a little bit greener.
By the way, before
allegedly.
we do, John, just real quick note, I forgot to use or show and talk about the Mount Rushmore Monday picks that Enterprising and
yes, you did. They mentioned that in the chat.
So we'll go to that at the end. Before we end the show today, we'll go through those picks because I picked them off the comments. They came in 5 minutes before the show went on the air, so like we weren't able to really get them set up for graphics, but we'll talk about them before the night's out. So
yep.
All right.
So with that, let's start with Lanterns and ya boy Aaron Pierre just looking very smexy to the ladies and some of the men, because they are jacked. James Gunn is busy shooting Man of Tomorrow movie that's packed with characters from the wider DCU. However, there's at least one cameo that won't be happening in the DC Studios co-CEO's Superman sequel. Survivor alum Richard Devens is currently competing in Big Brother, a show that Gunn is a self-confessed superfan of. He's previously suggested that past winners Taylor Hale and Derek Levasseur could cameo in a future DC project, and it turns out that he offered Devens the same opportunity. He was going to appear in the background of Man of Tomorrow, but he had to cancel. His awesome wife and kids still came. He couldn't tell me why, but he told me I'd be excited. Obviously, I was. So, a character who is expected to have more than just a blink and you'll miss it appearance in Man of Tomorrow is Jon Stewart. Aaron Pierre will make his DCU debut as the Green Lantern core hero in HBO's Lanterns, and a team up with Superman makes sense if Earth is about to come under the threat of an extraterrestrial threat like Brainiac. So, yeah, and look at
Boner.
Goddamn.
John, I think that's my gym photo. You must have photoshopped.
Yeah, Dan. Yeah. Fucking get out of here. But yeah, looking mighty good, and he's got a goatee going too. Damn.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely not me. Yep. No, I can't.
Superman standing next to Jon Stewart. Good stuff.
Hey, Jalen. Yeah, Jalen's into it. Jalen's
honestly, Jalen, you might be jerking off to something if you swing both ways, because we got this.
Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with that,
No, it's not like there's anything wrong with that. So,
yeah.
Hell yeah, baby, let's go. Look at them arms. Yeah. So that's what they were talking about, but nobody gives a fuck about Rick Devens. I don't even fucking know who that is. Get him we don't care about that shit. We care about Aaron Pierre.
I worry about James Gunn's like choice in TV show. Like taste in TV shows, and
he likes Big Brother, he likes Survivor. I'm like, bro, get a grip.
Yeah.
At least Millie Alcock is aware that it's garbage. She's like, I like trash TV, like terrible reality shows, but she's aware it's trash. So I'm like, respect to her. James, come on, buddy.
It could be like a guilty pleasure TV show idea for Mount
yes,
Rushmore.
I know. Like, Aaron Pierre is a good-looking man. And even though I have no hope for this piece of shit show, I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to see, Kyle Chandler die after one episode. I know he's still going to be in the show, but he's like the whole thing of like, oh, I got to go back in time, 2016, they're her. All right, fuck off. But yeah, Aaron Pierre is Jon Stewart. Kyle Chandler is Hal Jordan. For a little bit. It arrives August 16th on HBO Max. Are you afraid? Yes, I'm very afraid because Tom King and Damon Lindelof are co-show running this garbage. So, I'm very be afraid. Be very afraid. But you've said that joke like 3 times and it's still not funny, and it's kind of weird that you keep making jokes about domestic abuse. So just stop.
Yeah,
please.
let's not. Yeah, please. Like, honestly, that's not cool.
Why would I be afraid? Tom King. You still don't know it's Tom King. I don't trust that man. I wouldn't trust him with a speck of lint to take care of, let alone an entire Green Lantern show. Again, Hal Jordan dies technically after the first episode. Come on now.
Hey, he did work for the CIA.
Yes. Yeah, like, it's kind of amazing that starting the war in Iraq is still not the worst war crime he's ever committed. Oops. Anyway.
He has denied those allegations.
Yeah, okay. Like, he's gonna fucking say that. Like, oh yeah, I totally didn't fucking start that shit. It's like, all right, get the fuck out of here. Like, you were there. You were complicit. Even if you didn't do anything, you were fucking there. Shut the fuck up. Get out of here. You're still a piece of shit. You're a horrible writer. You probably got a lot of people killed. So frankly, Tom, shut the fuck up. Anyway, we need that on a shirt. Tom, shut the fuck up.
That could be like for any Tom. Like, that could be like, that could be like an anti-Tom crusade.
Yeah.
Do we want to?
Anyway, speaking of being anti-Tom, design of the power battery for the Lantern show. And I hate this. I'm sorry. Like, when the rumor was that, like, oh, Alan Scott was the fucking murdered person and not Hal Jordan, I'm like, okay, I can see that being this, but it's just like, no, that's just the regular power lantern battery. And I'm like, what? It looks so bad and it looks so cheap. And it looks like a little fucking rinky-dink piece of shit. Like, what's I want like a fucking something that looks like alien technology, not something I find at an antique shop from like 1885. What the fuck is this?
Maybe it shapeshifts, is disguising it so we humans don't freak out.
What the fuck does that even mean? That's so stupid. Who can, like, okay, I will say this. Rag on the Ryan Reynolds movie all you want. That looks like a fucking piece of alien technology.
No, dude, I love it. I love that design. Yeah.
And I also liked, I do like the, where it's like, it looks old, but it still looks like kind of like alien technology, like on Smallville, on Stargirl. It worked. I like that a lot. But this just looks, again, you are being beat by CW shows with your designs. Like, guys, what are we doing here? It just, like, if it was maybe a little bigger, I wouldn't mind it. But it's like, I don't know, it's like this big. Like, my dick is bigger than this. Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
It's the second time today that you have sounded like Tucker Carlson. It's like, what are we doing? What's going on? Like, it's
don't fucking compare me to him. Jesus Christ. I actually have brain cells in my head. Yeah, budget of ham sandwich, a dream, and like a pack of gum.
But yeah, even just a stick of gum, probably. Like, most days with just a stick of gum.
Yeah. Speaking of things that cost a stick of gum, we're going to Summer of Supergirl again.
Oh no, John!
The summer is about to end soon.
Oh no, it definitely did not cost a stick of gum. It cost a lot. Well,
I'm in terms of the box office gross is like a stick of gum. So, sorry, Enterprising, but we got to go negative here. Supergirl will likely end its box office run with less than Superman's opening weekend. So, yeah. So Supergirl set to end its 4th weekend in theaters with $1.4 million, a 62% drop from its 3rd frame. This sets an unfortunate record for DC Comics adaptation, as Supergirl will land the lowest 4th weekend domestic haul for any DCEU or DCU movie. The previous record holder was Shazam! Fury of the Gods, which grossed $1.6 million. Supergirl ended its 3rd week with $119.3 million worldwide, meaning it will likely conclude its run in theaters. Remember, it's set to end to hit digital platforms on July 28th with less than $125 million. Superman opened to $125 million last July and went on to gross $618 million globally. It could have gone higher had it not been for an unexpected early digital release that DC Studios co-CEO James Gunn said was very complicated, which I call bullshit on, but that's just me. But a result of him wanting to watch Superman before they tuned into Peacemaker Season 2 on HBO Max. And look how that fucking turned out. Supergirl's reported break-even point is between 300 and 375 million, meaning it will likely lose upwards of 125 million, if not significantly more, when all is said and done. Toy Story 5, Minions and Monsters proved to be a major problem. However, rather than shift gears by marketing it as an alternative to movies like those and the Odyssey, Supergirl's social media accounts have been quiet since June 29th when they shared a promotional video for Funko Pops. So, yeah, not great, but, you live and you learn. This is, it's far from the idea of like, oh, the DCU is over and blah, blah, blah. If we're talking about DCU specifically, I know DC has been making a lot of wrong decisions lately, but again, I'm still holding out hope for the DCU. I still like the movie. I still think Millie Alcock fucking killed it. Jason Momoa is great as always. Had some great action scenes. It's just the writing and visual components kind of fell flat, as well as the pacing being a little awkward. But Dan, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, we were talking about it like 2 weeks ago that 150 million may be like hard to get to, and it definitely feels like Supergirl is not even going to get to 150 million. So that is again an unmitigated disaster.
Yeah, you're fake pulling a Jedi mind trick. There was no Supergirl movie.
Well, you're fake. You know what? Genuinely, I wish right now that they took this as a tax write-off. Although, again, the same loophole in the tax code was not available, so therefore they couldn't do it here that they did for Batgirl. But anyway, John, it's just really, because the thing is, it's not as bad a movie as the box office and the Rotten Tomatoes score or even the audience score would suggest. Like, Supergirl is a decent film, kind of like Blue Beetle.
I would say it matches
like
the audience score, because the audience score is like a 76. I'm like, yeah, it's like a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay, I guess so. I mean, that's still an aggregate score, but the box office and the critics scores, and I mean the cinema score even, I mean the cinema score is the people telling us what the movie was like. I'm just saying this movie deserved better at the box office, because here's the thing, for everything that the movie was and wasn't, yeah, I'm not surprised you see Black that your theater is sold out for the weekend for Doomsday. I'm sure you're not the only one, but for everything that Supergirl was and was not, if they had released it in a different time of the year, like John, you mentioned it the other day, like Lanterns should have come out sooner. And I get that Lanterns needed more time or whatever the case was. It's just do what you got to do. But they set the whole thing of like, we're not going to, I realize that Supergirl may have been ready to go, so they didn't want to like move it. But I'm like, look, putting it smack dab in between Toy Story 3 and Minions in today's economy at the box office, where the most dominant genre is not the comic book movies, it's the animated family kids movies. So if you're going to put your movie squarely in the weekend between Toy Story 5 and a Minions movie, you'd better have a real banger on your hands. And knowing what we know that DC knew about Supergirl going into the release, I really think they should have put it in a different time, of the year.
They should have put it in like
release calendar.
Here's the thing, like, I think they should have pushed it back, like at the very least May, because the only thing you really had that month was a lot of horror movies, and that this is very much counter programming to that, and the only thing was like maybe Devil Wears Prada 2.
You know what, it would have been nice if they put it in the weekend after Devil Wears Prada 2, because then you got a female audience that just went and saw Devil Wears Prada 2, loved it, and they're like, you know what, here's another movie that's aimed right at us. But I mean, then again, like the ladies really didn't show up for this movie, at least not in the
No, it was mainly the men that showed up for this, and that's
problematic.
What I find that's what I find so funny about like the whole idea of like, oh, female driven superhero movies, because that's what, again, I don't want to get into like fucking gender politics here, but I'm just gonna say this, because they're trying to get a female audience with superhero movies, and that's fine. Like, they're meant for everyone, like as they are, but it feels like whenever they try to make a female driven superhero movie, rarely do the women show up. Like, yeah, they show up for Wonder Woman, they showed up for Captain Marvel, but they rarely show up for any other ones. And because it's just like, I feel like more often than not, they're just aimed at men but with a female character, and that could,
And that's the
and I feel
flaw.
like they're kind of going in that
Yeah.
direction instead of just making a good movie. You know, that's what I think. And it just, you know, like, trust me, there are plenty of families that went to go, like, oh, they took their kids to see it, they liked it, all that stuff. But it's just like, I feel like a lot of the time they're trying to get it in with the female crowd, and that's fine. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I feel like like they're just not doing it right. And it's just like they either don't care, or it's just like, I'm it's hard to say this because, like, people will call me fucking sexist and all that shit. But, like, at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff is still predominantly male, not because of any bad way. It's just like that's who we like. You know, that's the stuff we like. Women like other things that are not really superhero related. So it's just like I'm like, oh, we're gonna make something for the female crowd, and then men go see it, and then, like, the women don't get to see it, yet men get the blame sometimes because, like, oh, you're sexist because you don't like this movie. Where it's like, we're the ones seeing the fucking movie. Like, we're the ones like, again, I'm not saying it's only men or all that shit, but it's just like, it's just interesting how it's like, oh, we're making this movie for everyone, but especially women because of insert reason here, and then the women don't go to see it. So it's just like, well, what is it? Is it their fault? Is
No,
it the
but
movie's
John, no,
fault?
I
Is
think
it
it's
the
the filmmaker's
producer's
fault.
fault? So it's just like, it's a very complicated and nuanced sort of discussion. So,
Look, I'm
yeah.
just gonna say. Here's what I'm gonna say. Right. So let's just form a. First of all, there's two things here. I want to form a distinction between a
Right there.
female. So a female driven. Okay, because there's differences here about some of the term. Because it matters. There's a difference between a movie that is made for female audiences and a movie, and a female driven movie, and of course the idea of like a female audience showing up to a superhero movie in general. And I think all of these things obviously overlap in this particular case. What you want to keep in mind is that Supergirl, they made a lot of mistakes here. I think in hindsight, the movie felt a little too generic in terms of the plot beats in general. We've seen it before. It was also not a movie that distinguished itself enough in terms of like, John, honestly, if you swapped out Supergirl with a male character, there's not a lot in this movie that says this movie is made primarily for a female audience. Not to mention, this movie has a lot of Lobo, which I think this movie did not need as much Lobo. Like, ultimately, when you look at the plot logic, Lobo is kind of just rammed into the film. And he also, I think what they wanted to do, ideally, was try to, like, show the difference between the moral code or lack thereof of Lobo versus Supergirl. And ultimately what we got was just shades of gray and nothing distinctive. Like, initially they're like, oh, when we first see Lobo in the movie, Lobo, he's an immortal, he kills for money, but he doesn't care, but I kind of care, even though I like to get drunk and I have a lot of trauma and stuff. But then it never went anywhere. Also, this movie has a lot of David Cornswet Superman, and you don't really get much of the villain, but there's parts of the movie where you're not even focused on Supergirl. Like, there's an entire fight sequence in the third act of the movie that is being shown from the perspective of Evie, when I'm like, the movie should always focus on the perspective of your main lead character, especially in the third act, but it really matters when you're doing the payoff. So yeah, there's a lot of things in this movie where they don't scream. Doesn't even feel like Supergirl's movie at times. And a lot of times in the movie, Supergirl gets overshadowed by other male characters. So I'm like, there wasn't a whole, like, just for example, The Devil Wears Prada 2 has Stanley Tucci and plenty of other male characters. But that movie is a movie for, the female, not that a shit ton of dudes went and saw it, but that movie made a ton of money because of the female audience showing up. The Sex and the City movie, when that came out not too long ago, when that show got revived, they're gonna come if you make the movie for them. And this movie just didn't feel like it was made for a female audience, right? And it's just, I think that was the problem. And I'm not saying no women went to see it. It's just that not enough of the audience was female, which was the primary, I feel like would have been the primary goal, or should have been the primary goal.
It's just like, also like, kind of like, in terms of like, I don't know, it's just like, I feel like a lot of the times, like, they just make movies and it's just like, I don't think there needs to be like this gendered bias. It's just like make a good movie. Like that's the thing. It's just like I feel like when you try hard to make it like, oh, we're making for a female audience, it's just like Wonder Woman didn't need that. She's like, oh, she's a woman and that's it. Like, come see our movie, and it was great. And like they didn't need to like overly try, like for that. And I know you could say the opposite for Captain Marvel because she's like she puts the her in hero, and they tried to overemphasize that, and it worked. But like that was also the case of men mostly seeing that movie. And on top of the fact, the reason that made also a lot of money was because it was coasting off of the goodwill of Infinity War, and people thought you had to go see Captain Marvel to understand her role in Endgame, when that was simply not the case at all. So that's also partially why it did so much. It like that was like again perfect, where it was like that was sandwiched in between the two biggest money makers that the MCU had. So like, all right, let's kind of shoehorn this kind of mediocre movie that nobody's going to remember in like a couple of years, and it made bank because they're like, oh, you have to like, they kind of implied in the marketing that they're like, oh, you have to understand her character to in Endgame, so you need to see her in her own movie, when that was just not at all what it was. So yeah, it definitely it definitely felt weird with that. But I think more often it's just like make a great movie and the people will come. Like, and I feel like when you're trying to do this thing and that thing and this thing and that thing, that it's just like, oh, okay, it falls flat. And it's funny because like most of the women I know didn't like it as much as the men did. Like I mean, it was relatively like similar scores, but out of the three of us on the show, the woman liked it the least. Like, I mean, it was only a 0.5 difference between our scores and Liz's score, but it was still enough of a difference. And then another friend of mine who, well, she's not really a friend of mine, but a person I know, like, hated the movie because it was, she loved the comic, and she thinks this movie kind of failed at like representing that properly, and a lot of the people who were fans of the comics stated. And then I know another friend that was, again, friendly, not really friend, but I use friend because it's easier to say. But
it's all right.
Then,
you don't have to specify.
But yeah, it's just like, again, she didn't love the movie. She's like, she understood a little bit better. Like, I knew this wasn't going to be the comic, but it's still not a great movie. And I noticed that like a lot of, not a lot of them, not all of them, but I noticed that a lot of men were coming to bat for the movie more so than the women were. Maybe because it was like an overcorrection, because the guys see how badly like other guys are treating, the actress, and how bad this movie is. So they got to overwork and be like, okay, we got to be even more nice, while women maybe don't feel the need, or maybe it just wasn't that big of an audience. Because again, it's predominantly male, but in terms of superhero media. So I don't know. It's just kind of a very interesting conversation that I'm kind of not really wanting to talk about anymore, because it's 3 a.m. and I am like half awake right now. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm just just to kind of wrap this up, I'm just going to say one last thing. I completely agree with you that if you just make a great movie, it doesn't matter whether you make it for man or woman, or anybody in between. It's just, this movie had a lot of problems besides the target demographic. And I
feel like what's so interesting about, she had no love interest, I feel like more often than not that backfires, because like, it shows that women don't need a man or whatever.
Well, no,
yet I feel like romance would bring women into the movie. Like, I feel like they like that. They like that escapism of romance, and they like that sort of thing. Like, I mean, look at like Disney princess movies. Those are predominantly a female audience, and that works.
That's true, John. But
and again, I'm not saying like all women are superficial like that, but I'm just saying, she's a woman. She doesn't need a love interest to fucking come in and save the day for her. But John, I feel like women would kind of come into the movie more if she did kind of have that romantic aspect, because women tend to like that more. Not all the time, but usually.
It's a whole other Pandora's box, because even that varies by age demographics. It's age demographics, culture,
that is
everything
true
else.
As well.
I think it's very broad statement to say, oh, all women would appreciate a little more romance in their movies.
No, I did. That's why I specifically said not
I'm just
all.
Saying, here's the thing. Ultimately, any movie that flops as hard as Supergirl does, as we now know, it's usually, and I was mentioning even before we figured out all the behind the scenes drama, it's usually a death by 1,000 cuts. Supergirl did deserve better. It just ultimately, if it was a better movie, more people would have showed up, and more women and men would have showed up. It just, in this case, I mean, we can dissect it all that we want. We have done it for so long, but I just think ultimately it just wasn't a very good movie. It just wasn't a very good movie, and the people didn't show up for it. And while I don't think it needed to a forced romantic storyline in there, because I think it kind of worked well to not. It didn't feel like it needed to be in there. Like, for example, in the Marvels, that whole little dance sequence and number and thing, I just felt like was really out of place with Captain Marvel. So, and that movie didn't do very well either. So anyway, I think it's Death by 1,000 Cuts and Supergirl. It deserved better. Unfortunately, it did not get it. And we've mentioned it before. We hope that Millie Alcock
I'm not saying
will get
forcing it. I'm just
down the
maybe
road.
including it a little bit.
And hopefully Supergirl will find her redemption in future appearances like Man of Tomorrow. So, and hopefully she'll be a breakout in those movies, and then we'll have a chance to maybe see her in her own future movies or TV shows or other, crossovers. It's just, I don't think Millie Alcock is anywhere close to being done in the DCU, and her career is only just getting started. So, yeah.
Now, speaking of moving on, we did mention this because how it's going to go to streaming most likely soon, in about a week probably. But they have revealed the cover art for the home release. These are
nothing revolutionary.
Nothing revolutionary, just different uses of the poster. These are better. Get out of here. These are better, pictures, of course. But yeah, this is simple DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K Ultra. It's just like standing superhero pose, and then the entire cast. Although I love how Puppy Crypto is there, even though he doesn't appear like that in the movie at all. So.
That was another thing where they kind of promised more than I think real, because most of the Crypto sequences in the movie are in the trailers, and I feel like people thought they were going to get more of Crypto, but he just gets taken out, and then he's not a factor in the movie for most of the story. But anyway,
I do, because I usually tend to find more Blu-rays than DVDs. They're more available.
I've got a PS5. I've got multiple other PlayStations from the past, and then I've got a Blu-ray player. I think it's, if you guys want to secure your Blu-ray player before they stop making them, because fewer and fewer companies are making them, it's you're gonna get to a point in the next couple of years where you might still be buying Blu-rays, but you may not have a working Blu-ray player. So. But yeah, I you know what? Well, when the movie does come out on physical media and
you can also get the steelbook here as well.
Special features.
That's actually a good looking steelbook. Not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, again, look, I saw the other day that the Supergirl accounts on social media haven't posted anything since June 29th. So like Warner Brothers was just like, and DC Studios were like, you know what? We're just gonna lock this down and just move forward. So clearly the marketing department, they got told to like move on, and other than a couple of things like.
But hey, Jennifer Holland's trying to do something with this.
But you know what? Crypto is going to be around in next year's movie too. So this is great. Milkbone.
Yeah. But I would cross the universe for my dog and all that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, there was a special Milkbone sponsored screening at the movie. There's
looking good. The puppy's cute too.
But yeah, dude, Milkbone has been now a continued. Basically, Milkbone is becoming, or has become, the brand of association with crypto across Superman, now Supergirl, and probably Man of Tomorrow.
Makes sense.
It makes sense. They saw an opportunity, and obviously it's paid off a lot. And you know what? I think they did some good stuff this year too. A lot of cats and dogs getting adopted through the other partners that we talked about, the charities and the shelters. So yeah. I mean, I got 2 kitties running around play mode right now. So yeah. Can't wait to see more crypto though. That will be fun.
100%.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? Before we finish up, we're gonna do a quick cut back to Mount Rushmore Monday so that we can get through the picks that we forgot to get through earlier. So. Yeah, John, let's bring those in. Let me see. So we had, I know M2G Week submitted some. Actually, I don't know if M2G. No, he skipped. Figure Drawing posted a few picks, saying Blood In, Blood Out, Rounders. Okay, Hackers, Last Action Hero, which we saw on somebody else's Mount Rushmore.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, they're definitely, you know.
I
I
think
don't know
Rounders
Blood In, Blood
underrated.
Out. I know Rounders. I'm familiar. Hackers. I'm familiar. Hack the planet. Yeah, very ridiculous. But
Last
you know,
Action Hero came up before too, and somebody else, or a couple of times.
yeah,
so.
yeah.
And then Enterprising, you had guilty pleasure movies. This one's harder. Okay. Meteor Man, Prince of Persia. Are you talking about Jake Gyllenhaal, Prince of Persia? Okay. John Carter and Superman 3. Okay, Superman 3 we talked who else had that? Somebody else. I think was it Movie Spud had it?
Yeah.
John Carter and Prince of Persia are two of those Disney movies from that era when they were transitioning from the Pirates franchise to buying Marvel and Star Wars. So it was like the middle period where Disney was just had a flop, you know, a couple or several, you know, really high profile flops. I think that movie deserved better. Prince of Persia. It's a good movie, and John Carter definitely deserved better. But very similar circumstances. Meteor Man is another one. So those are good picks. Those are good picks. Thank you, Enterprising. And again, next time around, if you're able to post them a bit sooner, during the day, either over the weekend or, you know, the Monday afternoon, we'll definitely, you know, bring in the posters and the whole thing. So we hope that Man of Tomorrow is the greatest superhero movie of all time, but that's a pretty high bar. So anyway, I think that brings us to the close of DCU Daily. There go the graphics. Hey, I love it when we click on the same graphic at the same time. On that note, thank you guys for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow. The last I checked, the Tier List Tuesday poll was pretty heavily tipped in favor of horror franchises. So I don't know if that's changed at all. Let's take a quick look. Nope, it has not. Disney live action remakes, though, still in second. So I guess that's going to stick around for another week. But yeah, horror franchises, unless you guys change the vote or vote differently between now and tomorrow, we'll be back with DCU Daily. Then we'll also, of course, we'll have the Tier List Tuesday. So we'll see you guys then. Have a good night, good day, good afternoon, wherever you are. And stay #blessed from the beginning.
It's another project that's been blessed from the beginning.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see chorus.
Right there.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Now you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Here we go.
Victory mine. Ask me how am I doing? I'm telling you, really, I'm doing sublime. I never wait in a stewardess line. I just go do it. I'm moving my time. Really had nothing to do with it. How am I moving? I'm moving like you want to shine. Follow my lead. Don't listen to lies. I had to put me all on the line. That's why I know that victory's mine.
I prefer Jared Leto.
And remember, fuck David Ellison, Tom King, and Jeff Snyder.